Whoop. Hello and welcome to the Astropub, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Berserker01 Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the Astropub. Your space bar through Twitch. Today is our captain's table, and as is tradition, we have a once a year we have a British cast. We have a Canadian who snuck into the British cast.
He looks British.
He looks British. He's trying to masquerade, but you know. We're going to be talking about Star Citizen. If you guys haven't heard of Captain's Table, it's a community podcast where I bring people from all over the community to come in and talk about Star Citizen and Star Citizen Thethruth.
Whoa. By community, you mean the same way that some prizes and feral content?
Yes.
Community, you mean just some content creators?
Just some content creators, yes. Just a few. Just a few, you know. Totally. And it's not
those
like
of us that are crazy.
Yeah.
We like to commute.
Hey, you know, and at the end of the day, I still say I have an open. If you want to come onto the captain's table, tell me. And no one has approached me, so
Come on.
You're on.
Oh, yay!
It's funny because there are some people who've come on who've been like, I don't know how to ask Paul if I can get on the captain's table, and so they asked like one of my mods, and my mods are like, just ask him, and they're like, oh, okay, and they asked me, I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? You can come on.
Yeah, he's desperate.
Half the time I am. A lot of the time it's like, can I get anybody on? And they're like, fuck it, you know, maybe, I guess. But before we get started, let's go around and say hello to everyone. I'm going to leave the glorious bald god of Star Citizen for the last man. So let's start with Miserable G. Miz, who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen?
Hello, I'm Miserable G, and I stream Star Citizen when we get updates. No, I stream Star Citizen and also do the Addicted podcasts every Monday now. So.
Awesome. Then we've got our resident Canadian, Eris. Who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen?
I'm not even going to try and do a British accent because that would be an insult to everyone else. Hello, everyone. My name is Eris. Sorry. I'm Eris from Relay. We do some news sometimes, and I'm findable over at Relay. And I'm Canadian, which technically, for those of you that don't know, is a colony of Britain. Our head of state is actually the Queen.
In Canadian.
Chip chip.
Part of the Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm.
Really America should be as well.
Yeah, well,
A little bit traitorous.
We keep trying to get rid of them, but they keep like sticking to us.
Well, we like
tastes
the
like
free
freedom.
Tea. Is there free tea?
No, it's all
cheap tea.
very
Cheap
What
tea.
do we get out of this deal again?
You got cheap tea.
Tea biscuits.
Cheap tea.
Tea.
Next, we have the man of many faces, of many talents, but of only one gut. The Mac of the Super Mac Bros. Now live in full HD glory.
It looks no different at all.
I always where you spend.
I don't know. It was your fucking link that I clicked on.
I'm glad you said that. I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's terrible. Super Mac Brothers on YouTube, Super Mac Brothers Ryan on Twitch. Yeah, that's about it, to be honest. That's all I need to know.
You also find him on YouTube. He does YouTube stuff.
YouTube stuff, Twitch stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
Why is my face so shiny?
Why is your? It looks great on my end. I don't know what you're talking about.
The sun is literally beaming on you.
You put Vaseline on your head.
No, should I? 1 second.
Well, I mean, you are sitting in a desert, man. Like,
Yeah, you are sitting in the desert. That is work with you.
Destroying
Whereas
the
I'm
magic
more
bed.
worried that Anakin Skywalker's about to murder me at some point. He's going to come out of somewhere and just cut me head off. I killed the youngling! Ah! Yeah.
So, speaking of younglings, we have the youngest face in Star Citizen. He's literally only 2.
Yeah.
But he's actually 86.
Yeah.
Actually, yes. I am, yes. Part vampire.
Yeah. Little bit of madness. Who are you? What do you do for in Star Citizen?
Yeah, so basically, I kill people generally within the verse in my ships and my Gladius. And I'm also part of the Addicted crew with Miserable. I've been doing that for a while, and and I love Star Citizen. But yeah,
Does
He also likes
I mean,
Star Citizen
the
shoes.
and I designed some sneakers recently, and I did post some stuff up in Spectrum, which has got so much hate I can't believe. So yeah, go check out some of my posts
On Spectrum.
What's
Yeah, I posted 2 things up, and I wish I hadn't now. Literally, the hate was real, suggesting
Don't
that
put
we
it on
should
Reddit.
Can you
yeah,
link them
no,
in chat?
Reddit.
Can you link them in chat now?
Yeah, let's
No,
put it
'cause you're
all.
gonna-
Please all downvote them.
no, because my latest one is a fundamentally flawed.
I'm looking
Talking about
for it.
cryo sleep, failed. That was game ideas. It absolutely failed miserably. I will link it. I got it in links.
Stick to shooting people.
Failed miserable.
The ideas to the
I'm trying to
designers.
expand myself beyond murdering. And the funny thing is when I did the my other post about stuff, I suddenly got called a PvEer, which is hilarious because I literally murder people all the time in this game. And then someone thinks that I'm a PvEer.
It's okay there, Care Bear. We understand.
Yeah,
But they
Anyway, so
have
that's
to
me.
find a way to insult you.
clearly. It's literally, I couldn't believe it. Like 2 downvotes instantly on this one. I was like,
Two.
what? It's not even
Just-
something
just-
decent.
All
You
right.
just gotta do what the rest of us have done and get your own website.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now
post it up on
we have
YouTube.
saved the best for last. The man who is never wrong and is always right. Who is shiny and bald. The man who gave us
Beacon of hope.
he actually gave the Captain's Table its unofficial / official subtitle, which is the Captain's Table. We don't know shit. Board Gamer UK. Who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen?
Pretty much
You're
the same thing as every fucking one else in the Star Citizen community. I wait patiently.
you're really soft right now, Board, for some reason.
Wait, how many of us are patient?
Oh, one
I'm
second, do you want
silent
my-
for a while.
Yeah, is that better?
Better, yeah.
You know, I'll turn up the game. I'll just put it to full, yeah? Just put the game to full.
No! I'd already had you on 200%.
Yes. Ah!
I make stuff for Star Citizen, videos and things and news and stuff. I just cover the game. I like to research it. Pretty game. It's got spaceships. I like spaceships.
We all like
Yeah.
spaceships. Pew 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 pew
And,
pew
and
pew,
ground
pew, pew.
vehicles.
Well, I don't know if I like them yet. I haven't really had a go on a ground vehicle. See,
Yeah, none of us have CIG.
I like to
CIG.
like
Still
to
waiting.
have it in my hands before I know if I like it. Don't make any sexy jokes.
So
Sorry.
the one major topic we've heard about this week was the holograms, the render to texture tech that they showed off for ATV. So I do want to talk a little bit about that. What do you guys' opinions of that? Did you guys like it?
Cool.
Beautiful. I just hope we get to see it in non-Squadron 42. So we get. I mean, I know we'll be able to speak via our Mobi-Glass face-to-face with people on ships and so forth. But that level of, like, if we're in the Idris briefing room and you're like, right, we need to go and get a package from this ship, are you going to go to all that effort? I would. And
The only reason
that'd be amazing.
for them to have made the tech in the first place is if it's not going to just be used for Squadron 42.
I think we've already seen it in Star Citizen, to be honest. I mean, we saw the mission giver way back last year.
That's true.
That was Flash.
It was Flash, but that's what they're going to use it for in Star Citizen. It's that kind of calling you in the middle of a, you know.
Yeah, like the stoner who's the air traffic controller for Levski, which I totally don't feel comfortable with. The fact that the man obviously is imbibing a lot on the job. Hey,
What's
man!
wrong with imbibing a lot on the job?
Listen. I just don't want my air traffic controller to be the dude who's getting high and listen to Bob Marley in the office. It doesn't sound like a.
It's
a
Levski.
safe
You're
way.
lucky you got someone there anyway.
Yeah, I know, but Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's not flying.
No, he's not.
Fuck, he's right there on
He's
top of the other Connie. Yeah, it's fine.
But no, I think we're going to see it in Star Citizen for sure. And the one big key that I'm worried about, wondering about, is if we're going to see it with player-to-player communication. Because if that's the case, they said for a while like the facial capture. But they said for a while that this facial capture thing was going to happen, where like you could like your voice or your mouth would move when you talked. I wonder if that's still in the plans. Is that's part of it?
Yeah, so it is. As far as I'm aware, it is still in the plans. So you'll notice from the voice actors that are used for Squadron 42 and for the Persistent Universe, their faces and heads and whatever are totally detached from their voices because they're different people. The people that are doing the voices are totally different actors from the people that do the scans of the faces or the bodies, whatever. And they can, that tech that they've had for a while now, they can use for any audio capture. So I'm assuming they can do it at lifetime.
Yeah, they've had that tech in a bunch of other games as well. It's not something unique to Star Citizen.
It's like GTA 5 does it, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Microphone. Yeah, and I would think it would work easily with the Star Citizen.
It's as old as EverQuest. The original EverQuest had that tech. So.
This is, I don't even remember where this was in the Kickstarter goals, but they mentioned at some point in the Kickstarter that they would, like during the Kickstarter, maybe shortly after, that they were going to be trying to do this whole, as you're talking, your character is talking. So I don't see a reason why that wouldn't be in. And given the render to texture, you'll be able to sit there and talk to someone and distract them while your friend sneaks up in the back of their ship and then blows their head out, and you'll be able to watch it on your hologram. It's going to be awesome.
Madness.
When do we expect? Because sometimes these things come in, and then I'm just like, well, do we have any idea when this is going to be in the game?
Tuesday is.
What do you mean? What do you mean this in the game? Because renders texture, some of it. It's going to be in 3.0.
Yeah, it's going to be in there with the UI. No, it's the UI is going to be the it's using render texture tech. So
keep in mind.
So how much of it then do you think?
Well, one of the things that they mentioned that Chris mentioned recently is one of the reasons that they're delaying 3.0 again is getting the UI stuff to work. And you have to think that some of this rendered texture stuff that they're still kind of working on tweaking might be a reason. I mean, I'm sure that they're going to have a bunch of different mission givers. I'm sure that they don't want you to go out, do a mission, go back to that mission giver, then go out, do something else, come back, go out, do something else. Like, they're going to want that rendered to texture for the mission giver, for the calls. And
to keep it fluid.
And they're probably not going to half-ass it because they're so close, right? So they're just going to hold off until they can do everything in one, because otherwise it's a lot of wasted effort to fake those mission givers where they could just...
So you think 3.0 then? It would be your best guess. You think they're going to do that whole... Well, maybe what, including the holograms or just the...
not the holograms.
There's no call for the holograms, not until later.
Just the render to texture for the the panels that you use when you go shopping.
Yeah.
That's render to texture, but the holograms are more for proper comm calls. And what I liked about it was the fact that the guy who... I'm not sure who the actor was, but the big guy who was blown up, you could see the lighting.
Oh, that was Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn, yeah. Evil Ben Mendelsohn.
Evil.
He's always evil, and everything he's ever done, he's evil. Well, no, he's evil in Kingsman. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's because he's
British. That explains everything.
I thought it was really unique though how they were changing the lighting color in his scene.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That was. Like,
so if something blows up around him in actual whatever happens to him, because he's going to be actually
office is on fire.
And he's just actually talking to you.
Eris, they're saying you're a little quiet, by the way, Eris. If you can boost your volume.
I'm quiet?
Yeah.
Maybe this... Tell me if this does anything.
That does. That's much louder now. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I can move it down.
No,
How long do you think it's going to be before we have volumetric, like, viewpoint stuff for porn? Because
volumetric... Do you have VR?
Yeah.
Have you tried VR porn? Well,
that's the question.
VR porn?
But what I mean was, like, when the holograms in Star Citizen, they were quite big. I think that would be terrifying.
Oh, hang on though. Did you try
Size does
VR
matter.
porn? Did
it
you
could
try
help.
VR porn when it first started? Like the day of the first day of launch of VR, one of my roommate downstairs got it, and the first thing we did, of course, because we're all a bunch of guys, is tried out the porn.
Not
And
like
it
sat
was-
around together, were you? Just
All got around together
Yeah,
and
we
used the
were.
controller.
Welcome to the weirdest that is.
Oh my god!
Virtual
Imagine that going
20,
wrong.
20 feet high. They were 20 feet high. It was monstrous.
Yeah.
It was absolutely monstrous. So no, you don't want that.
Some people
Okay,
like that.
you don't want that.
Don't sit. Don't sit.
You don't speak for everyone. I'm pretty sure some people will want that. There's a market for everything in that area.
Yeah, last Saturday night flashbacks, right? Well,
Now, the other thing that someone brought up on the subreddit, which I think is a good point, talking about VR, is that a lot of the stuff that they're getting ready for 3.0 seems like stuff that you would be seeing in a VR setup. The touching of the buttons with by hand works and
Using the secondary viewport stuff as VR, full VR, would be quite clever because that would effectively allow you to do VR with secondary viewpoints, secondary viewport. But it would be so resource intensive.
One
As
of
far as
the
I
thi-
understand
can we get 3.0 before we get VR? Is that possible?
yes,
maybe.
yes.
One of the things I've been thinking a lot is, I mean, VR right now isn't too easy to take on and put off, but there's a lot that's working on that. And if you,
Boom.
oh well, you've got the cheap.
This is cheapo. That's the good one. I have the same thing.
Sorry, no, it's honestly it's the glasses. My glasses, it takes a lot. Like I have to sit there and go.
Oh, yeah. That's why I don't wear glasses when
Okay,
I'm-
there it's on.
Yeah.
I hate glasses. But no, I've been thinking a lot that in ship VR with control like hand controls of being able to like touch the consoles in VR, and then when you get out of your ship, you're taking your helmet off anyway. Do the little helmet flip, throw your VR into the corner, and yeah, exactly.
700 pounds.
Let's buy another one, mate.
Oh shit! It doesn't float in here, does it? It's like...
I think VR is going to come into its play in FPS anyway. I think that's where I would use it a lot as well because it's like
VR's
armor.
not going to give
No.
you.
You're going to
vomit.
vomit.
No.
You're going to
100%
vomit
with
in.
board.
You will
I
vomit.
daily
No,
basis.
there's no benefit in VR unless you've got your amazing Twitch shooter and you've got really accurate ways of aiming.
Yeah.
But as soon as you move, as soon as you have to move at all, it's like, ugh.
Yeah,
And then,
really.
I'll half walk. Oh, where am I walking? Oh,
Mhm.
oh, I'm dead.
When they,
Do you mean in Star Citizen at the moment?
No.
No.
It's a limitations of
That
VR.
is true.
It's a limitations
No,
of
they say-
VR.
yeah.
you can get really good at VR games, like you can, so that you're not like going, oh, there are some quite competitive VR games.
Yes.
Where it is all about quick aim and Twitch response. It's just that people that are going to be using a mouse and keyboard are going to be better. I mean, it's a better setup for firing guns at people.
Yeah.
People that are on joypads, people that are on touch controllers, they just don't. It's not as competitive.
I will say that the VR,
No.
the where VR will shine is in ship combat and specifically with fighter combat, because just like how a track IR, like you can like look around your cockpit, with a VR it works the same way. The difference is that the perception, like depth perception, as well as like the immersion is much higher. It's not.
I'm gonna chuck in seconds.
But you're sitting down, so if you're like doing this, you can like you'll lean out and look around. That's the key. The problem is right now is if you do that with the current helmets on, you're going to see like the side of your face. Which
Have
is
you guys-
Yeah, right now it is.
I'm so glad that we didn't get Star Citizen hadn't come out early.
Yeah.
Squadron 42, and that we're not going for this generation of VR. I'm hoping that we'll have second gen VR for Star
Yep.
Citizen,
Yeah,
because that would be an enjoyable experience. Rather than people going,
Elite Dangerous has VR support right now. The text is basically unreadable. And you look down and there's this like mangled, like inch thick wrist mannequin below you that just looks messed up. Whereas War Thunder, which doesn't pretend to, like, it doesn't try and give you an avatar, War Thunder's great. You just look around your World War II airplane, it's like, this is nice.
Yeah, I guess the fact that Star Citizen have the physical.
It
body
has to
and
be
head,
done right.
Yeah, and I mean, Armor's the only other one that I know of offhand that actually does the same thing, where they have a physical head and body that is separate. Well, not separate. It's
floating above the body. No wonder headshots are so freaking hard.
It's okay. In some
Unless you're AI.
Bohemia games, if you look at the shadow, you'll see the body, but you won't see the head. You'll see the shadow of
right.
everything but the head. So, but yeah, they separate everything.
I mean, for me personally, I'd like to see more things like iPads being integrated in iPhones and the kind of using that kind of thing rather than virtual reality. If I'm being honest,
Augmented
and
reality.
we're still
Yeah.
waiting.
In what way?
Well, we're
Well-
still waiting on the full spectrum integration of that, right?
yeah, I want to be able to everything from being able, like all the kiosks. I would love to be able to get my kiosk on my phone.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
go
To be
up
able to buy,
kiosk
sell
and just
goods,
that'll
to
be
be able
cool.
to
Yeah.
open my.
you know.
Imagine being able to open your plane with your phone.
You're playing.
Your
Yeah,
plane.
oh, not plane.
How are you a good
Spaceship.
Where did I
player?
park my
I get it the wrong way around all the time. Dyslexic. Hitting a blind person. But no, seriously, it would be so cool to be able to have your phone and be able to like press a button on your phone and be open
that
your
would be
cockpit and
Yeah, totally
you know
agree.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Lock it up. That'd be sweet. Oh,
I do like the roadcaster.
two-factor authentication. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah. Oh, fucking
Or to help your mates
Texture-
out. Help your
Render
mates
to
out.
texture will allow you to do that with your phone potentially, because they
Yeah,
can just render to
drone.
texture and bam.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can do
Yeah,
loads
talk to
of
your mates,
stuff.
calls you
Listen,
with
they
your
used
character
to-
in game. Calls you with his character in game. It comes up on your phone. You get a message from him going, "I'm fucked. Madness is on my tail. Come and get me."
And everyone
You're
else
like,
that's
"Oh, shit."
I'm out in a pub actually having fun, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take a picture of yourself having at the pub, being like, "Eh," and then like send it to him as he's getting blown up. You know, yeah.
I'm sorry,
Ending
beautiful
ladies.
ladies. They need me in Star Citizen.
I will just
Fine.
throw in here hashtag mobile first.
Yeah, mobile needs to be integrated, and they do need to like
They
focus on
really need to integrate mobile better than they have because
It's
I-
mobile.
Yeah, I wonder what your thoughts
Mobile.
about.
okay, they really
Yeah,
do
say
need
cell
to
phone.
integrate
Cell
some mobile.
the mobile.
That's better. Now we know what you're talking about. That's all right.
Sorry.
I didn't know what he was
Second
after.
strike on the
No
British racism there. For
Make a note, man. That's it.
Listen,
Man,
I'm
I
not
think it might
pretending to
be-
be British.
Wait,
I'm just
I'm
saying.
Irish. I'm allowed. Is that how it
Half
works?
of them hasn't
No.
half of them are Irish.
he's got wine.
Yes, he has wine.
What's
I'm
wrong
part
with
of-
you? Why don't
I'm
you
still
have
part of.
anything?
I'm still part of the EU, so I'm having wine.
See, I'm drinking beer. I'm drinking Boston beer out of tea because I'm having my Boston tea party here.
I
that's all.
gave up on the teacup. It was too small.
Now you're drinking out
Drink
of
it
a
out
tea.
straight out of a teapot instead.
Just drink it straight out of a
I don't
teapot.
have a teapot. I
couldn't
want
say
tea
that's-
direct.
Get off the car.
What the best part about dealing with British friends is that my British friends are always confused as to why I don't have an electric kettle.
I have an electric kettle.
What?
What do you
It's
have?
great. I can. Set
I have
the
a
temperature.
teapot. I have a teapot that
But
you
you
put
just
on
look at
the
it.
stove.
But how do you differentiate between black tea and green tea and all the like? I don't want my.
Buy tea
green
bags.
There's only one tea. It's called PG Tips. There's a-
There's only
other
one
shit.
tea. It's called sweet tea, my friend. You know.
There's only one tea. It's called Earl Grey. Hot.
He doesn't
Oh,
have.
it's like sawdust in it. That stuff.
I'm still struggling with this. You don't have an electric kettle.
I don't have an electric kettle.
Maybe he doesn't have electric.
You are on the internet right now. You're streaming. You've got all these fancy, but you don't have an.
I don't have an
He
electric
has a
kettle.
stove. He
I have a stove and I have a
stove.
copper kettle. That's what I have.
Hey,
Do you
hey,
have like
guys,
a water?
Guys,
Do
he's
you
an
go to bed
American.
and put? Does he have
He's
like
an
a water?
American. I am not with him.
I am super American at this point.
So,
Did you
do you have
lose
like?
it in your move?
That's
Is that what it
crazy.
is?
They would say decals. Decals.
Wow. I'm sorry. I just. Wow. Okay. I just thought I can picture you now going to bed with a hot water bottle now as well. So you don't have to
Oh wait, what's more got? What has more
I
got?
thought Bod brought boxed
He's
wine.
got Corona.
Corona. Okay. Good.
check him out.
Oh.
He just legged into the shop.
This is going to be fun.
So in terms of
Another thing I hate: waiting for stuff.
Oh, I will say, I honestly think, and I'm going to go into this level. The salt levels will probably increase at this one. I honestly think that the people who are upset with the delays aren't necessarily upset with the delays as much as they are about the communication of said delays. And we've talked about that at the relay, on relay.
We-
No,
we-
I'm upset about the delays.
I do want to just say
Are you upset in the terms of angry that it's delayed, or are you just upset in that like you'd like to see it, you'd like to play it now?
No, I'm upset about the fact that how on earth can we be at this stage almost 12 months later, and he could have possibly thought before Christmas.
That's communication issue though. That's not a
the guy makes computer games.
I'm so grateful that Chris has now decided to address. This is what we've been saying for a long time. He needed to address the community personally, and that's what he's done. And I'm so grateful that he's done that, because that has been.
I disagree. I actually disagree.
He has not. He has not. Quite frankly, and as someone who very much respects Chris and CIG, he has not at this point actually addressed the community, in my opinion.
In what way? What's he not addressed?
Sorry.
Well, he hasn't. Well, he hasn't. Okay, I thought that his message was quite condescending. First off, and addressing the community would be telling us where things are and not where 3.0 is. We kind of know where 3.0 is, but where's the other stuff that we were promised literally 2 years ago? And I'm not saying that I want it now. It's just we do honestly deserve an update on Squadron 42, for example.
It would be nice to get one, definitely.
Yeah.
It would be really, really nice.
I would wait for Gamescom and CitizenCon until I kind of throw that one in their face right now. If we get past those two big events with nothing for Squadron 42,
I'm fairly sure that they're going to do something for CitizenCon for Squadron 42. They're at this point they have to.
Eris is definitely right with they must have a year to 2 year schedule planned out, and they must have in their heads updated schedules all the time for 3.1, even if it's smaller patches. They haven't told us about how they intend to use the Delta patcher. They haven't updated us on 3.1 to 4.0. They haven't given us the schedule report for Squadron 42 yet, although they will. They are going to do that as a schedule report.
Yeah.
Chatting to Aaron about it.
We actually had an interview with Eric Karen Davis 4 weeks ago. Unfortunately, it was a great interview. Unfortunately, Jake Acapella, who recorded it, his hard drive died literally the day after it was recorded, so we never actually got it uploaded. It was horrible.
Coincidence.
But it was horrible. CIG must have broken into his house and sabotaged it. But in the episode, he was literally like, "Look, I'm looking at the Squadron 42 schedule right now."
It was just off screen though, yeah?
It was off screen, yeah.
No wonder it was burned.
Trust me, I was asking if we could zoom in on his eye and enhance and whatever, but they have that schedule.
I do a lot of charity work, and you would be able to see it, but it's just out of shot.
Yeah.
Maybe they're thinking about the fact that they've delivered this schedule report and it's gone down. Good. We like the schedule report, however. It hasn't. I think the fact that they're taking away some toys from us because we've been bitching and moaning about it, it kind of rubs me a little bit the wrong way. But they're I think maybe that this is why Squadron 42. They're probably thinking about how they're going to deliver this in a different way, or maybe they just, you know what I mean? They're taking their time on this one. I think because of what's happened with the previous one.
Well, taking the time on everything, aren't they? That's the purpose of it.
Yeah. The other thing is that there's 400 fucking employees all working on various parts of this game. That's and I've done a lot of research in terms of your average game, a game AAA title in terms of how many employees would be in, and I have not seen many. I don't think I've seen any game company that has had more than 200 employees working on a game title. 400 employees is twice the I believe that GTA 5 had 250 employees working on it.
250, 300, yeah.
Paul, it's very simple, okay? They need someone at CIG that does two things. One, has an overview of what everyone is doing entirely. Not Chris. Not Chris.
Not Chris. That's the problem. Chris is the one that has it. There needs to be someone other than Chris.
Yes, and that person literally just makes sure that everyone is on the same page. That's his whole job. His whole job is to make sure that the most junior designer sort of is making sure that he's doing the work towards he's supposed to be doing all the way up to the other people. So he has just a small overview of the entire company. But also, as a secondary thing, they need to work with PR to ensure that people don't get grumpy at stuff. And you do that by having someone that's good at the game and likes the game doing that job.
And I think part of the problem there, is you've got 400 employees, right? let's break those down to 40 teams of 10.
Mhm.
Right? You have to have someone, and you have to have more PR people than they have to distill those 40 teams of 10 into stuff to show people, because whoever they have as PR right now aren't distilling stuff well enough that we appreciate. Because and at the end of the day, this is honestly about us. It's about the people that have backed and have contributed, and it's about the people that keep the game alive and stream it and talk about it and run websites on it and promote it. And the whoever is running the PR isn't in sync with the people that care about the game, and that's the problem. It's the people running the PR need to be in sync with the people who know. Because you know what? We don't need to know everything. We don't need to know the exact story of Squadron 42. But come on, there's a lot that we could know about.
And
What's
someone
relevant?
Well, someone said something in chat that Sandy Gardner is head of PR. She's not.
She's not.
There is an
Sandy Gardner,
there are entire teams of PR and marketing people who are not Sandy who help run
And-
Star Citizen.
Sandy,
Marketing and PR, that's fine what they do. They need extra people that are specifically there to connect to the community, as Eris is saying, but also be very good and love the game. They need to be like, actually, I don't like the idea that you've changed these lasers from red to whatever, or I don't like that you changed the meta of this laser, because that's a bullshit thing.
They need
I want
non-yes
that.
men. They need people who are passionate about the game's success.
And a lot of people, and I've seen this a lot, and I saw this during the Relay Station, I'm seeing this now, and it's a lot of people keep putting this on Sandy's head, and Sandy is head of marketing.
She's vice president of marketing.
Vice president. She's not even head.
That's in charge. That's in charge.
It's
VP
in
of
charge.
marketing.
But do you know what marketing is? Marketing is that little constellation statue that's up there. That's the Connie statue.
Is making 155 million from your game.
And
He's
she is fucking fantastic at marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing and PR are different things. And I've had a number of one-on-ones with Sandy at this point. Sandy is really good at what she does. She knows what she's doing. It's not PR.
Wow. We're name dropping already on this show.
Yeah.
I know. I'm only two people away from the Queen.
I'm here. Man, I am here as a direct representative.
Which queen?
Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah. That's what we're talking about.
1 and 2. Oh, that way. There's the Queen.
No, but the thing is that, and that is one thing that people often misconstrue, is that, like, they think like, oh, the community team is terrible. They don't know what they're doing. It's like the community team answers to other people. Even the head of the community has to answer to the management of the game. And if the management says, hey, you can't do this, or you shouldn't do this, or if marketing says the community can't do that, that what ends up is community can't do that. They have to go through an approval process if they want to keep their jobs.
There's a missing link. That's all it is.
Yeah, there's some cog somewhere in this machine that is missing, which is the reason why we're getting a lot of this drama. Like, there needs to have been someone who stood up in December or January or February and said, hey, we missed the December date. This is the reason why. This is where we're going forward. And people would have understood.
Link between the community and the developers that is socially able to do it, because it's not fair putting it on people like developers, because that's not their...
It's not their job.
It's not what they're good at. Yeah. No. Yeah. And it's awkward, obviously, but the problem is when people come in who don't know the game, they see the people on screen and think, what is this crap? Because it's awkward, but they do need to have that link between them. That is, even like you don't even have to say stuff that people like to hear, but saying it in the right way will make it easier to digest for people, and it will just clear the air a lot for a lot of people.
Think there's a lot where it's like everyone's expecting like 3.0 or whatever to have been out when XYZ when it was supposed to be, but it's like but then turn around and say, well, no, we wasn't saying it was going to be out. We were just saying we're aiming for that. But they must know that the community were thinking it was going to come out then, even if it wasn't planning it. So having someone to address that and say, look, you guys thought that it was coming out, or we kind of wanted it to come out and you were thinking that as well. So yeah, we've missed it and we're sorry, but this is why, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like, no, we never said it was coming out. Why are you all getting disappointed?
Yeah.
And that's just for 3.0. What we need. I mean, the last thing we heard about Squadron, literally the last thing that we heard about Squadron 42 last year at, I believe it was at CitizenCon, was that everything was in white box and it was coming along. That's the last thing we heard
I
about
heard a lot
Squadron
about
42.
vertical slices at one point.
Well, no, Vertical Slices was canceled, but now maybe they're back on. That's the
Yeah, it's
rumor.
coming
But no
back
one
again.
knows. But
Yeah.
nobody knows, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And the problem is we don't know.
Even
yeah.
a small thing like saying things like an update that says, even a small thing that says something like an update like saying, hey, mission 5 is missing this, this, and this. You know.
Yeah.
No, true. It doesn't have to go into specifics about the actual game story or anything. They just, and I think that's where they don't want to reveal anything Squadron 42, which is in a way a bit of a mistake. They should show us the progress on it, which they have done a bit now with the second viewpoint.
Yeah, the new viewpoint, latest ATV. By the way, if you haven't watched last ATV, you actually should. It's only about 15 minutes long, and it's almost entirely views from Squadron 42.
Mhm.
And it's really pretty.
Yeah, it's
Go
really good.
watch it.
And it opens up a lot of,
Lively.
like, one of the things that's really cool is anyone who's ever played Wing Commander will know that the mission briefing room is a huge part of the game.
Yeah.
That mission briefing room gives you a lot of character building from the different characters and your commanding officer, as well as understanding what the mission is about as a whole. Not just what the mission is, but what it's about, like the context of it in the grander scale of the universe. And the key with that is that because it's such an important thing, what they're doing in Squadron 42 looks like they're going very much in detail, not just the mission briefing, but contextual characters, like maybe characters who you'll be running into, or people who are in charge of, the CEO of your CO, all that kind of stuff that you'll be interacting with on a daily basis or a mission basis. So them showing that off shows you how in depth the hologram system is going to be even for the game. So,
do you think that I was going to say there's kind of 2 points really, but I'll start with my first one. Do you think that we're talking about a disconnect between themselves and us? Do you think there's a kind of not a delusion, but they think that they've already told us this information?
I think so, to agree.
How do you not know this, guys? How can you not understand? Why are you so upset? Do you know what I mean? This feeling when I from this ATV is like, what, we've given you all this schedule, we've given you all this stuff. Why the hell are you upset about this?
I'm sure Board is probably with me on this, but Board and I probably follow basically everything, and we know everything that they say, and there's a lot that they haven't said. I mean, if you look at the schedules, all we have is the 3.0 schedule. Like, there's a lot and they had said before that they didn't want to show off too much of Squadron 42, right? And that's fine, but there's so much that they simply haven't.
So that graph at the bottom of the schedule report, when they first did the schedule report for 3.0 stuff, that was good. That graph showed a year's. Well, it was like 9 months.
It was 9 months of stuff. It was what they wanted to do this year.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, and I'd like that updated every 3 months because obviously it changes massively. Because it's scheduling. But I think because there's so much to track in the game, they don't know exactly what they want to tell us and when. I mean, I think they're happy to tell us whatever, whenever, but they don't know what to tell us. And they don't know what's an issue until it becomes an issue, because they don't have someone that's, as you said, in touch with the community. There is that missing link there. And they don't realise that issues aren't necessarily issues until, after they've happening or in the process of being...
And we have to keep in mind.
So what's Disco Lando? Sorry to interrupt, but what's Disco Lando then?
Disco Lando does
community
something
manager.
He's not a community manager. He's in charge of all their production. So all of their videos.
No, he's not the link.
So community manager is the community team is the forward-facing team. You can think of them as the cashiers of this. Or customer service of this game. They're the people whom you will see on an average basis. More complex than that, but in terms of like a brick and mortar store, they're the people you will see on a day-to-day basis. They're the people who you will interact with, compared to someone like a production manager who's in the back office making the big decisions.
Disco will be running the live streams. He'll be part of facing events and stuff like that.
He sets up stuff for the website. He writes stuff for the website that shows up there. But he's not the person that decides what we see.
No, even Xylo, who's the head community manager, he's in charge of making sure that all of that stuff looks good, then helping to film all the stuff that needs to get filmed, writing the scripts for that kind of stuff, and doing the weekly newsletters and engaging in the community as a whole.
As far as we know, and again, this is I don't 100% know on this. I could be wrong, but as far as we know, the people that are actually in charge of kind of what we get to see are the PR team, and we haven't really seen the PR team because the PR team are the people that film stuff. Now, like at CitizenCon, when I was getting filmed, it wasn't Disco doing the filming. It was like Xylo doing the interview, but they had a dedicated team doing the filming, doing the PR for stuff. And I don't know who they are. I could be wrong.
We need to talk to them.
Well, I mean, because I always hear, like, I think it was on Happy Hour or whatever it was, the guys were like, the VFX guys were getting questions, and the guys were like looking at the railgun, and he was going, "Oh, this is really old footage of the railgun and stuff." And he's like, "I don't know why, you know." And I've seen it so many times on interviews where the guys are going. I think Jay Lee was an interview as well, saying, "Oh, this is why are they showing this?" You know, they seem there is that real.
That's because of Shotgun. What happens is they've got this tool called Shotgun. So everything that they do goes into Shotgun. It keeps track of everything. It's the, oh, we need this by this date. Do you have it done? Yes, no, whatever. Here it is. It's done by this date. It's their keep track of everything. So you'll have the PR people looking through Shotgun, but they're looking through Shotgun from weeks ago saying, we can show this? Yes? No? Chris, can we show this? No,
Yes.
we don't want to. Okay. Can we show this? Yes, we can show this. Okay. Let's work this into ATV 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, we're gonna go back to Jay Lee and ask him. So what were you doing when you were working on this? Because there's such a disconnect. Like there's a few weeks of disconnect between stuff being done and stuff being shown to us.
And a lot of people don't know the overview of how far that particular railgun's along at all. They have no idea. And whoever's editing it, they don't know the full overview of everything. They certainly don't know what the Foundry 42 team's doing in regards to weapons on a particular month.
Yep.
Other than what they've been told.
We are still seeing a lot, and they are showing us a lot. It's just we have this delay, and I don't think the delay is something we can get rid of.
No.
I think it's something that we have to accept, but they do need to show us other stuff. Like, yeah, they've shown us, I mean, showing us some of the tech that's going into 3.0 is great, but if you look back the past few months, all they've shown us is tech going into 3.0. They haven't shown us anything beyond 3.0. They haven't.
And that brings up another good question, is like, we have, back in the day, we used to have, you know, back in the olden days, we used to have...
Back when I was a kid?
Yeah, we had things like the Death of a Spaceman and trading documents, and those
Yeah, the
documents...
deep dives.
The deep dives, which we haven't had in a very long time.
I've
and,
been-
No,
We've
that's
had
because they
design documents.
yeah.
they tried to do deep dives as features effectively on ATV to fill in content.
Yeah.
And then they stopped doing that so much, and then they kind of forgot about the original deep dive documents.
Yep.
But they are going to start doing them again, I think.
That's
Okay.
I think that's what they said that they were going to do, but I think they also said that 6 months ago.
They also said that they were going to do a Squadron 42 update, like they
Yeah.
did with the 3.0 update back in January. They said that.
no!
They did.
So
But
that's the
think,
problem.
I think
is
they.
that,
I think one of the things that they said was that. Oh crap! What's his name? Why is my mind blank? Not Chris, not
Aaron.
Aaron,
Oh.
not Aaron.
Tony.
Tony. Yes, Tony.
Crazy.
I thought that they had said that once Tony was done some of the stuff that he's working on, that he was going to start doing the design documents, and that never happened. Remember that?
the thing,
He was doing coding, wasn't he?
yeah, and the thing is that we've also heard conversations about things like possibly the some of the systems that were first initially pitched are changing. Things like the death of a spaceman.
Oh, yeah, a lot of
and
it's
trading. A
changed
lot of it
over
has
the years,
changed.
yeah.
And that would help us understand like where they're going with 3.1 and 3.2 and like what's going to be happening, because right now what we're seeing is a lot of focus on 3.0. Is there no work being done on 3.1? I would doubt that
There
there's
is.
no.
Well,
There
don't
is
forget a lot of the ships that are being worked
100%.
on, like the Reclaimer and things like
Yeah.
these. They're all being ready.
But what's
don't
other
understand
than
is-
ships though? Like are we talking like we heard a couple weeks ago that Hurston was being prototyped by Frankfurt at some point. And-
Yeah, you've got
Cities,
Hurston,
procedural
you've got
cities.
procedural cities, you've got they're continuing to develop the planetary tech. They are building out a lot. I mean, when I went onto my office tour, they're doing loads more that they're not even telling us about yet for some reason.
As always,
I just
yeah.
don't understand why they're not.
Yeah,
it's a
well,
weird
it's the same
to me.
thing. Like back in January, I took an office tour, and there was a lot of stuff that was just now being released, and a lot of stuff that was they still haven't talked about. You know,
Citizen
Do you think
Con
it's
last
because-
year.
Like, do you think it's because like we're hearing about 3.0 and then all of a sudden it's like, well, why haven't we got this yet? We want this now, and then they're worried that if they tell you stuff that's in 3.2 or something like that, you're going to go, oh, that's going to be soon. That's good, and we're all going to be sitting there going, well, how far away is that then? When's this
That's
coming?
irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
They need to give us more information.
The
That's
issue
what I-
the issue isn't how soon it is. If it's not soon, they just say it's not soon, and they've done that in the past, and it's been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dates mean nothing in Star Citizen.
No.
It doesn't matter what they're working on. They'll show us when they feel it's ready to show us, which isn't date specific.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, we get to see all sorts of stuff, but that's why it is kind of sporadic what we do see. And a lot of people do think, oh, that must be coming soon. Like you see the Reclaimer, you think, oh, maybe that's coming for 3.0. No, it doesn't mean it's ready for that. It just means they're showing us progress on it, which is what they need to do, is show us progress on all areas, which is what they agreed to do. It's the whole thing.
I mean, maybe. I was going to say maybe
Go ahead.
Gamescom, mate. At the end of the day, like last year, they showed us Gamescom 2016, which is basically pretty much 3.0 Levski, Moon, what we're going to get to play potentially with 3.0. So I'm expecting, and high expectations, that what you guys are talking about in terms of what's the future, what we're going to see. I'm hoping that Gamescom is going to be that here's the next year's worth of potential future content.
Oh, for sure.
That's
I
my
think
I don't
hope.
think so.
That's my hope.
I actually don't think so.
I
think
know
that
it probably
they-
won't be, but that's fine.
I think that they are going to use Gamescom to show off 3.0 because Gamescom is actually their bigger stage. Between Gamescom and CitizenCon, Gamescom is the bigger stage.
Yeah,
of the world.
Gamescom is
So
there to introduce it to new players.
If they get 3.0 for Gamescom, they're going to show 3.0 off at Gamescom. They're going to show this is what you can do now.
Well,
Yeah.
they're only gonna have. That's only gonna be maybe a third or a half of their presentation.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a fair amount.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big old chunk.
They're definitely going to have a presentation video like they had at Gamescom last year or at CitizenCon.
The rest
where
is going to
they're
be
showing off-
Spectrum, I think.
They'll be showing off something in the future. God damn it. Well, no, it's either going to be. Let's go through the memes. It's either going to be Spectrum. It's either going to be a ship that punches above its weight class. It's going to. Or it could be a more
Game
animation.
Changer.
600.
The game changer ship. The
We need the
Game
game
Changer still, yeah.
cafeteria animations or more
Board and Shiver are still talking about the Game Changer.
or the last one, which is more Miles Eckhart animations. Talking about Miles Eckhart for the 500th time, you know.
We do love
Saber
They're
I'm just
doing
going
his-
through the meta, all right? I'm just going through the meta.
They've been doing his hands recently. Did you know that?
Yes. yes.
They have
The
jazz
game
hands
changer's a
animation.
cyclone. Ask Madness, he'll tell you.
Don't try and salt me up because I'm so much. There's no more salt needed right now. Than salt.
Sorry, there's
Crazy.
someone else from possibly Ottawa in chat. One of the things I've been trying to talk about for a bit is that if you look at the stuff that they have completed on that schedule report, now there's a fair bit that they haven't completed and they're still working on, but all the stuff that's completed, those teams, they don't. Like, one of the things about CIG is they've got 400 employees, but none of those employees are sitting idle. So as soon as they finish something, they have moved on to something else.
Oh yeah, yeah, way
And
on,
it's-
way advanced. Yeah.
It's the something else that I want to know. Like, okay, they've finished all of this stuff. What are they working on now? That's what that's what I want to know. That's what I think we all want to know, because those are the important questions. It's what are they doing now?
You know, when we see these cameramen in the
Mining.
sort of 3.0
Yeah, mining.
meetings, you know, you see these cameramen sat in the corner in the 3.0 meetings. I wonder if what we're going to get is up to date 3.0 information or just sort of back a few
Both.
weeks ago. You think
It'll
it'll
be
be a
both.
mixture of the two?
Yes.
Joe, honestly, Gamescom, I'm worried because if they just show us the same demo that they showed us last 2016, come on, guys, come on.
No,
won't.
they're
It won't
gonna-
be the same
they're
demo.
gonna-
You mean Lavin on Devsky again?
They're going to show.
taking off
They're going to show
317?
some very cool 3.0 gameplay clearly, and it will
Yeah,
be
and it's going to be
multiplayer.
working.
Yeah.
It's not
It
going to
worked
be like not that 3.0 game demo was pre-rendered. It's going to be more fleshed out, fully 3.0
At
as
the
it
very
works
least.
now.
Yeah.
At the very least, they've got those press demos that they showed to GameStar and PC Gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And those are,
exactly.
I've almost
I'd like to see more planets. I'd like to
the-
see the planet stuff more.
the press
rather than the
demos
moon
they,
stuff.
they show
Quite
to those companies, or they'd be the ones that we're going to see on the presentation.
I think we'll see something a hell of a lot more refined
Oh, yeah.
than those.
And we'll
But
also,
yeah,
and we'll also see something in the future, like mining or art core
Could be.
or
Could be.
Procedural
the
cities,
end
maybe.
of the
Procedural
world.
cities.
Yeah, that's the the
we'll
procedural
see.
cities
We'll
will
see
be
something, but
that'll be
it's
cool. More of
important. I think it's important. I think most people will agree that anything that they show off that's that's not 3.0 is 6 months to a year away. Like anything they show off at these events is usually years away from the actual completion. Like we're not going to get even the planet they showed off at CitizenCon last year for probably 2 to 3 years, anyways, until they've actually added more like systems.
I mean, for me personally, it would be. I mean, okay, they're just things to be going on and on and on. But I know from doing shoes and footwear and stuff, when you do your own personal big conferences like Nike and stuff did, that's when you launch your own personal shoe. So at CitizenCon, we would launch 3.0 technically. At Gamescom, you would launch the dream of whatever the next shoe, the next
Well,
projection to be.
don't forget though,
keep in mind, does anyone see that thing on the ground there? That HOTAS there?
The myth.
God.
That was
The mess of
that was
wires.
the-
Yes.
No, that. Sorry, not the. Sorry.
I saw a
Can't see
tiger walking past.
That
earlier.
that HOTAS thing.
You do in rage.
Those black boxes. Those are the SciTech Rhino. Those were supposed to be the predecessor to the Star Citizen HOTAS. Now let me tell you, and I reviewed it. That thing right there is a piece of ass. And not a good piece. Not a good piece of ass.
Maybe that's why
That
their
is a-
company went bust.
Yes, and it did. But we don't know what happened to that. And that's another thing I'd really like to know. What happened to that? Like, who's going
Piece
to
of
make
ass.
this? Who's going to make the Star Citizen HOTAS?
Oh, it's done. It's
Eric,
done.
are you
It's done.
are you wearing pants right now?
Not only did they. Oh God. He's
Fuck
never
no.
wearing pants.
We can expect a rage.
Not only are we not going to see, not only are we not going to see a Star Citizen HOTAS, they sold the prototypes
Yeah.
I saw some on eBay.
on eBay. They
Yeah,
sold
yeah,
some of the
yeah.
prototypes on eBay. So what's going to happen is eventually Logitech is going to have to pay CIG for its broken contract
And then they'll find someone else, I expect, way later down the line to
do it.
start all over, start afresh. But right now, it's obviously not a good time to approach these people.
And
They
I-
haven't even got all the controls sorted for Star Citizen.
I was about to say,
I don't want a bespoke controller yet.
I don't
Oh, we haven't made it.
I don't care about that shit, man. Seriously.
Oh, we need an
It's-
extra button.
HOTAS.
Oh well.
HOTAS is fine.
what they'll do is they'll contact with a
Not
company
Warhol,
that's going to
fine.
be releasing a new
1600.
a new stick and throttle, a HOTAS, and it'll probably be Logitech down the ways, and it'll be mostly just like a branded Star Citizen branded Logitech controller that they'll work closely with Star Citizen about it, or with CIG about it. Same with how the Thrustmaster did the T16000 MFCS. They work closely with Frontier and with Gaijin, who make War Thunder. Frontier obviously is really dangerous. They work closely with them to see how they could get their controllers to work right and like how to map their controls properly. So when they were designing the full HOTAS, so something similar to that is what I'd expect. So. All right, so that is the first hour of content. That means from now on we're going to be doing questions. If you guys have never been here before, you can ask any question to anybody on this cast. But there is such thing as dumb questions. And if you ask a dumb question, I'm going to let a little bit of Annis answer it in his most British manner.
And that will be the end of the show.
Yeah. So
This machine is broken.
if you want to ask questions, exclamation point question mark in chat or exclamation point questions. And let me pull up the question, see if anybody's actually asked anything yet. Probably, usually there is some sort of snark. That
When is
goes on.
3.0 out? When is 3.0 out? When is 3.0 out?
It's already out. If you asked that question, it's already out. It was asked last week. and
I've got a question for you guys.
We've been playing it. We're privileged
I've
for you.
Yeah.
With the
Question
privileged
for you all.
We've actually
Since
played it.
March, yeah.
Beautiful question for you all. Do you think we should have another concept sale before 3.0 is out?
We're going to
Yeah,
have.
why
Why
not?
not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
600
Bit of
I
extra
made,
cash in
yeah.
the pocket.
Makes no
Yeah,
difference
why
to 3.0, so might as well.
At the end of the day, it's one of those things that people will be salty about it, but
But why?
Cool concept.
It makes
Keep in
no
mind-
difference to 3.0.
keep-
They're a separate team altogether.
Keep in mind, exactly that. Concept ships are 100% separate from game development.
It's not
And
holding.
this-
Why
okay,
hold
right,
the
Yes,
rest
they're
of
not
the-
part of the game
hang
at
on,
all.
hang on. Just because something is separate doesn't mean that it can't still be damaging to
PR?
the image of what Star
But
Citizen's
it's not
PR.
damaging.
But
It
here's-
may- yeah,
here's the
It
thing.
is though.
Here's the thing.
Salt on
Here's the
salt
thing, though.
on
No,
salt.
the people
Hey,
that
That's
think it's
ignorance.
Greed.
It's
Look
ignorance.
bad.
The
Yeah, I know,
people-
but that's Kool-Aid though talking.
But
Come on,
the
seriously.
people that think it's damaging already hate Star Citizen. And the people that understand Star Citizen are like, okay, guess what? They're trying to pay for a $155 million game. You know what? Fine. Let's allow them some Starship sales. And the other people are like, hey, cool, a ship. I don't have to spend my money on that because guess what?
oh god damn it, Eris.
Just press the mute button, quick.
It's fucking optional!
What's that about Arsenal?
Something about
it's Arsenal.
but-
It's Arsenal, which is terrible. Liverpool for life.
That's an English
I'm
football
just gonna
club,
say
so
that,
yeah,
you know.
that kind of
Yeah.
works.
I didn't get the shirt. I didn't get my shirt. actually.
Manchester United. Woo.
Did you
Gunners.
are you Man U? Because I was gonna have to come over and punch
No,
you.
no.
God
I'm
damn.
Gunners. I'm
I'm-
Arsenal.
Anyways,
What do you know of football, Paul Shelley?
Yeah, you can't even say football, right?
I'm
Come on.
I have been a Liverpool fan since I was 12. All right.
Explain
Just gonna
the
say
lot.
that.
And what about
It's
football?
optional. It's optional.
What about football?
I just love this guy. This
He's
Aaron's
gone.
guy,
He's
it's
gone.
optional.
Eris is gone.
It's optional. The thing is though, right? Okay, like it may be optional, and I get what you're saying. I get that, you know, at the end of the day, you don't have to buy the ships if you don't want to, and they'll be in the game eventually, and all this stuff. But I just like right now, when you are, it's like a goalkeeper. Like, okay, I'm going to use football because we're talking about football.
Oh, please
If
don't
your
use
goalie is fucking up every game over time, what do you know what you do? You bench the fucker, okay? And that's the
Who's
reality.
fucking up?
And in this case, I kind of go, if you are late upon late, and the salt is building, and the hate is building, and the chat is building, and all this stuff is doing, and then Chris Roberts comes on an ATV,
What if-
he delivers what he delivers?
Here-
You
what
just
if-
don't add another piece of
madness,
fuel to the
ma-
flame.
Madness.
What if you have your goalie and he generates for you $8 million?
I'm
every
gonna
time
say
you
that.
get into a game?
I'm a goalie.
That's the
even though
problem.
you keep
play-
losing.
That's the problem. That's
You make $8
that's the problem. The goal may be sucking. The goalie may be sucking, but you know what? Everyone buys his jersey.
Hey,
Everyone
don't
buys
blame the
his
goalie.
jersey.
I as a
I can't really argue with
goalie,
that too much.
take a huge amount of offense to the goalie on sucking. Because guess what? It's the fucking defense's fault. They
Am I triggering him
they
again?
should have let 4 fucking breakaways through.
He's only just
Yeah.
come back and you
Am I
triggered
triggering him?
Why are you letting the midfield all the way up to the behind the defense?
Yeah,
That's the
come
question.
on, guys. It's not the goalie's fault. You know when a goalie in soccer has to face little tiny ball, 400-foot net.
Anyways,
What level are you using?
my point
You're a
is
tall
that
man. How tall are you in real life? That's what I want
He's
to know
actually
right
pretty
now.
tall.
If you use
Fuck
VR, though, the players are all 20 foot tall.
By the way, I'm a hockey goalie, so
Yeah.
my net is about 3 inches tall compared to yours. So
Oh.
It's true.
So
What are you
you're saying
complaining
you're
about,
about 3 inches and I'm much.
the big thing about the big
400 feet when he said this.
then? Inches. I mean, we still use inches in the UK, so it's okay. Yeah, it's fine.
so do we
Right.
actually.
We're progressive. We're
the
metric imperial fluid.
It-
Ambidextrous.
Imagine saying that to a woman though. Be like measuring your dick in like millimeters,
In
and
millimeters?
centimeters rather than inches.
Oh.
Be like,
Yeah.
imagine saying that on a date. Yeah, my
I don't think I would tell my woman that anyway.
300
It's
millimeters.
800.
Women, have you dated where you've told them your dick size on a date? And they've
By
gone,
the way,
"Oh,
guys, I'd like to point out that every single problem with Star Citizen currently
Who
is
hasn't?
It's
actually
madness.
is actually 100% attributable to
J.
J. Lee
Lee.
art.
yeah.
It's all all Jay Lee art in chat.
Send
So
him the hate.
don't ping him.
They say
Jay Lee,
like
how big's
car.
your dick?
I was about to say, they say about ships.
In centimeters, please.
Yeah.
They say that like your car is a reflection on the kind of like insecurities. The bigger the car, the smaller. So who here's got what's the biggest ship that everybody here
I
has?
have a Merlin.
I don't drive.
Endeavor.
Ship. I'm talking about shipping game.
I've got a grey buggy.
Like yeah. What's the biggest ship you own? Everyone here. What is it?
I feel
Mine's
like-
the Constellation Aquila.
I feel like
Let's go
I feel like I have a moderate size.
So one, by the way.
My biggest ship is the merchantman, so reasonable.
The biggest ship you that's the one you bought with your real money because I won the winning the Britain
I bought
dogfighting champion of 2017.
So I've got a Tumbrel has a big cock.
Yeah. I don't believe it.
Not out yet,
I've got
it's
a
not
knot.
even-
I don't believe it. Poor Gabe is like, yeah, I got a javelin I bought with my real money.
very
That's
exaggerated.
exaggerating there, Magnus. Come on.
How about you,
man.
Madness? How micro cock do you have? I'm
How
sorry.
micro. The biggest ship I've personally bought recently would be real money. My own money is the same.
Okay.
But it's not the size of the ship, it's how you crash it. That is really important.
I crash it in style.
By the way, this is perfect content for the captain's table. If you've never been here before,
I
this is
crush mine
entirely.
so
The
well.
captain's table.
Yeah.
This isn't a ship that I've been in yet that I haven't crashed.
Everybody here. If anyone's sitting here like, yeah, I own a javelin. Yeah, this is fucking tiny, baby.
All right, let's get to the
Very good
questions.
at micromanagement.
Oh,
I own a caterpillar and that looks like a penis. But it's a big ship.
Hey, come on.
So really?
Every single ship looks like a penis.
every ship,
That's true.
especially the
Freelancer
freelancer.
doesn't.
So
Yeah.
what?
The,
Yeah,
the freelancer is the
Especially
biggest
once it's lost all
Reliant
the engines
doesn't.
and guns and
That
everything.
is-
If your
Hey,
penis
hey,
revolves
don't
round into a
judge.
fin,
Don't judge.
I think the whole series is more akin to it though because it grows.
Yeah.
And then-
That's grown. It's
It's a grower, not a shower.
It's not a shower. It's a grower.
It's coming out the
My
side.
endeavor,
I'm not
my endeavor grows too. My endeavor grows.
you know what they say about Eris? He's got a dick like a Reliant.
Very flat. Very capable.
Changes
Reliable.
modes.
and it is a two-person. It requires two people to operate.
and breaks in the wind.
When it's like a Xi'an
What have I
mate.
gotten into?
All right,
It's just
I'm gonna take
sustainable.
control and do the questions because we're gonna
Don't let
lose
him take
control of the questions anyways.
No, don't let him take control. Come on.
No
Show him
control.
your kingship.
Definitely, all right.
Show him your kingship.
Definitely not
The
Chris
clues
Roberts.
in the name, boys. The clues in the
Definitely,
name.
definitely not Chris Roberts. Asks, Mac, can you please give me the name of the person you're giving the person giving you inside info?
John.
John.
I thought
That
it
was
was
simple.
Ben.
Yeah.
It's John or Ben. I'm too drunk to remember.
Yeah.
Next
thought it was
question. Next question comes from Edison Trent 7112. And if you want a free copy of Fortnite, or if you want to give away one left, just let me know. I'm in chat. Does anyone want
Yes,
a free copy of Fortnite?
I would more
No,
than
I got
happily
it.
have a free.
Go
I'd love to have
talk
a free copy
talk a little bit of
Fortnite.
madness there, Edison. Welsh,
pretty good.
goddamn, Welsh sheepfucker asks, is Squadron 42 still alive?
I take offence to that living in
You know
Wales.
him.
Take offence to
You know
that.
him.
Didn't need the suffix.
He must be your neighbour there.
I'll go, hang on, look, I told you not to ask that question.
It's okay. He said Welsh.
Were you not
not
aware
Quebec.
of the? Were you not aware of the Welsh before this, Eris?
Did you
No,
not-
I've never met a Welsh.
a Welshman.
Welsh.
Is Squadron 42 still alive? We hope.
Don't know, we haven't heard anything about it,
Yes.
so could might not be.
Amazing AMZN space LY employee. We are working closely with various partners such as CAG to get an insane amount of players on AWS servers. You're going to like what we are working on for Post 3.0. Have a great day and keep up the awesome show. Thank you, Amazon LY employee. Okay, lumberyard employee. It's a lumberyard employee. I don't know if that's verified or not, but I'm sure it's great.
Well,
Totally,
we
that's
hope
complete
we hope that
propaganda.
you are working very closely with CIG, because
Someone has to.
lumberyard
Yeah.
is kind of what they do. Let's.
I swear that is Amazon
It's
lead.
Amazon Web Services.
Yes.
literally what it would
Yeah,
be.
it's they moved to your services, so let's hope that you're working with them.
Yeah.
Who are these guys that just started using our services? What the
Miles Eckhart
Hello,
has
welcome to Amazon Tech Services. Would you like some support? Yeah, we want to move all our game services to your services. Okay, right.
Who are you?
1 second.
Okay,
2 marks on the racism.
Three now, actually.
Oh.
Three.
I like how the
Four,
Canadian is the one who's
Yes!
racist against the Brit and not the American. That's the best
As
part
a
about this
Brit,
whole thing.
whenever you call a call
I am
center,
allowed.
they're never British.
They're
So,
always.
I am allowed.
I'm
I'm
waiting.
not saying what race they are. They're just never British.
Am I
Check your
am I
racism
expecting
privilege,
to
Eris.
call a British
the
call
Brits aren't
center?
a race.
I never understand the helplines. I'm always calling them. I'm like, where are you from? And then you
Just
talk
in
to me.
general, just always
You never have a clue.
They're always
Yeah,
always
very
from
English
Ohio.
names, though, haven't they? Very English. names.
spell
Someone
it.
that's not
Spell your
from-
name.
Yeah, can barely speak it. What's your name?
D
What's your name? Bob.
A.
Yeah. What?
Next question comes from Miles Eckhart Isbay, who asks, "Do you think they will show off jump points at Gamescom or CitizenCon?"
Miles, big fan.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see it this year. We may see it next year.
No.
I
Isn't it
think
jump
that's
points
4.0 is-
Yeah.
way off.
I mean, they did. I think like 3 or 4 months ago say that they were working on all of the visual effects.
Because I mean,
and stuff
we
for
did
it.
see visual effects for
Yeah.
for Quantum Jump 2 years before we had 2.0.
Yeah.
So
So-
That may have been
We saw-
premature.
We saw early
Yeah.
concept.
early
for it.
concept,
Yeah,
yeah.
we might see some further concept. We might even see it as kind of a excuse me, part of Squadron 42. But I wouldn't bet on it, but I would hope for it.
Yeah. Next question comes from NotKemi65, who asks, this is now the Astro Cowboy Bar. The pub is a Cali thing at Astro Pub. Well, you see, I moved from California. Now I live in Texas. So don't mess with Texas and America.
Is this interstate
America.
racism you're doing now?
Yes.
Can't tell.
Yes.
Actually, hang on. For all of you UK, for all of you UK blokes, how do you guys like the healthcare?
It sucks. I'd rather pay.
What do you mean it sucks? We've got great healthcare. NHS is great.
Yeah, you come out with more diseases than you go in. What's the problem?
Sponsored by the NHS.
You know, I went to my doctor's after like 10 years of not going, and I said to him, I said, I'll make more of an effort to come next time. And he goes, oh, no, you're good. No, don't worry about it. He made such a point about making sure I don't spend any more of their money that we
Why
pay
would you
towards-
want to make more effort to go to the doctor?
Quite,
I only
quite,
went to my girlfriend and said, can you just get that checked?
quite genuinely, I wouldn't have been able to get the treatment that I required without the NHS in this country.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was essential.
Must be nice
for
having
my-
healthcare.
Oh, okay.
We just
It must
we
be
traded in
nice.
healthcare for freedom.
No, you think it's
So-
freedom. Come on.
No, it's freedom.
German healthcare is absolutely fantastic because they have state and private, and you kind of have a choice. They have statutory. So I
They
think
do
it's,
have both, but
Canada do the same.
Yeah.
Well, do you know, I knew this guy, right? He
think
was
it's a great
Welsh.
idea.
He was Welsh, but he was called Stavros. So just get your head around that
Davros?
first.
Wait,
Stavros.
Davros?
And he,
Stavros the Welsh.
Stavros the Welsh guy. And he was complaining to his son that he is now renowned as something he doesn't want to be. But he's built like 20 houses with his bare hands. And did he call him Stavros the house
He
builder?
has-
No.
It's
No.
hands of a bear.
Bare hands, yes. Literally. I mean, imagine his struggles. with
building
bare-
20 houses. Poor
He
by
builds-
poor.
He builds 20 boats with his bare hands. And do they call him Stavros the boat builder? No. But he shags one sheep. This world isn't fair.
How is that?
What's it
relevant
called?
to the NHS?
Stavros?
Stavros the Welshman.
What's
Yeah.
Stavros, the nice guy who works at the grocery.
But he's Welsh.
Oh. Stavros the Welshman.
He moved across from wherever Stavros would live. Greece, I assume.
The
To be
next,
honest,
So what do they call
I'd
him?
focus more on his hands.
Stavros.
Wait,
the
wait.
sheep shagger.
Have any of you guys heard of Star Citizen?
this is totally okay for the
I
for
love
that
it.
I
mistake.
don't
They
even
have
see
the
how
hands
that
of
was
a bear.
relevant to the NHS.
love
Did that
it.
just come out of nowhere?
It is
See,
relevant.
someone's now going to ask if the sheep fucking is going to be in Star Citizen. Someone's going to ask that question now. You know,
It's
is
not
it
pets.
confirmed or not?
Pets will be in Star
Sheep
Citizen,
shagging?
so
Yeah.
If
you
there's
know.
pets, you can shag them. That's simple as that, isn't it, really?
it's going to be lonely in space. That's all I can say.
Squadron 42 has been delayed because we're trying to teach sheep how to love.
I mean, if you've got a 30-minute jump, you've got to do something, haven't you?
Round them up, boys.
Someone's
really-
obviously done something in my Gladys because that screen is really freaking stained. I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying.
All they've told us so far
Secondhand
is that you can go and
spaceships,
play
guaranteed.
cards. But honestly, who wants to go and play cards on a long journey?
Oh, I totally
I
would.
do.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
but
do.
I would actually
Yeah,
be
yeah.
doing something else in the background that the friends wouldn't know about. I'd just,
If you could
Solitaire.
pay to have a bigger schlong in Star Citizen, yeah.
Are we gonna go the Rust way, where your schlong size
Is randomized?
Conan.
On your
This is like
on your
this is like
ID.
Conan's.
imagine that when you call someone up who's streaming. How's it going, guy? Woo!
Oh,
You
I
got
see.
luck with the draw there, bud.
Can you get a cybernetic implant?
The
That's
next,
what's gonna happen on your
let's-
phone, mobile
let's
phone.
move away.
Take pictures from Star Citizen.
let's move away from the schlong talk. All right, let's move along.
Let's
That's
board
a
game
very
bringing
valid
it
question.
back.
I think that's why 3.0 has been delayed. because of the
Schlongs.
dick slider.
Yeah, slong dong
Jesus.
slider.
The schlong slider is not in there.
Schlong slider.
Schlong slider.
Next question comes from
my porn
Auntie,
star
who
name.
asks, "What is the dumbest question ever asked on the captain's table?"
That one.
Yours. Moving on.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise
It never even
asks,
got finished.
And I asked one about penises before. So
Yes.
You're stupid.
You're stupid.
Mayonnaise asks, if we enter the atmosphere in our spacesuit, do you think we'll burn up an atmosphere or simply impact the surface and die?
Both.
You would explode.
I think it depends on the spaceship. Or
I
spacesuit.
think it actually.
I will be
I think-
screaming.
yes.
Better
I
to
think
burn
it
out or
depends on the
fade away,
spacesuit.
baby.
I think it just depends on the spacesuit. Because let's say you're falling in Titan armor. You
I
might
don't
survive
think
that.
I don't think there's going to be any armor that can withstand atmospheric entry. I mean,
Well,
it would depend
so-
on the planet, but
They've discussed that obviously in 3.0, if that happens, you're dead. If you jump out your ship or whatever, when you're in orbit, you're dead.
Yeah.
Because you're full.
Do you think it'll be
But-
instant? Because I want to
don't
do
know.
it though. I want to
Don't know.
burn.
What
up,
about a
like,
really
hardcore?
low gravity moon?
In the future,
how would
though,
atmosphere
in the
work?
future, they do want ways to survive that. So, ejecting, possibly parachutes, possibly anti-grav stuff, possibly armor like Titan suits that might save you. We don't 100% know, but they do want people to be able to crash on planets and survive.
Just a big
Plus-
shape hole in the middle of the planet as you like not
I mean,
burn up
they
an atmosphere, but you
they
just
have been
smoke
working
it
on-
on the side.
They
Oh,
have
here's
been
actually-
working
do you
on
know what?
jump mechanics, right?
That
Like they've been
brings up
working
an
on
interest.
jump mechanics for low gravity moons, right? So if
Oh,
they're
yeah.
starting to implement gravity for objects, then maybe you could jump out once you hit Atmo and slowly fall and not take much damage. Because guess what? It's just a slow
Velocity is
fall
inherited.
to your. Yeah,
You'll eventually like
How
a
small an object do you
That's-
have to? It would have to be an asteroid or
a
something.
very small
because
moon.
if you jump
very small moon.
if
like
you
a,
jump off like a
my
4-story building on the moon, like our moon, and you hit the ground, even if you slow your descent a little bit, you're still going to hit with the same impact as you, or similar impact as you were jump off a. It's something to do. It's even if you are jumping, you still inherent your. I can't even do the science. Fuck it.
keep in
it's too
mind,
close.
our in
hurt.
Star Citizen, our suits will have slight jetpacks,
Yes,
right?
so
'Cause
they may be able
otherwise
to
you could-
break us a little bit. Yeah.
You might be able to break. We'll see. It's
Iron
that,
Man suits
that is a
confirmed.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Can
Yes.
I, because just talking, because bored, it was interesting you're talking about crashing on planets, and that's something they want us to do, right? Okay, so currently you're in a fight.
are you
Yeah,
referencing?
He's
Oh,
referencing his freaking notes.
Yeah. Shut up,
No,
man.
it's too obvious.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I just made some notes.
Just wanted to make it.
Where's the bullshit?
According to you, on
Wait,
the 2016 November board gamer,
Fuck you, man.
No,
Look,
I
I'm
knew there were
drinking.
notes.
you once
I'm
said in one of your
drinking.
videos.
I've
you
got to
did
write this
say-
shit down. What can
No
I
one
say?
told me there were notes.
Oh
I'm
god,
just I'm
the
just
only
saying,
the
right?
only professional on the table right now. Thank you, Little Bit Madness. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
so
God.
right, okay, so
Excuse me.
crashing at the moment. Okay, so let's just say at the moment, because obviously I do a lot of dogfighting. So you get readied up at the moment. Say you run out of quantum fuel, or you don't. At the moment, you can still jump away. You can't. Your ship's not burning up so bad that you can't fly anything. You're going to crash into a planet. Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of the mechanics of the actual ship needing to crash land on a planet. Just I don't see how
You're
that
fighting.
will be a
You're
thing.
fighting an atmosphere with another
Yeah.
ship, and then
Well,
you
that's-
get in.
And
Then
that's
you
what it
get
says. So out in space, technically you won't really do that, but only when you're coming down onto planet and fighting somebody in atmosphere,
There's going to be lots of other reasons. I mean, you're going to be fighting vehicles like the Tumbrel. You're going to be there's going to be static. There's going to be static.
The Tumbrel with its Sumbrel's got what size 2?
Size 1,
but it also has
size
it
2s
also
and
has
2.
EMPs.
2 size 2s.
Imagine
Two
getting
size
all-
2s which do fuck all to anything.
Well,
Yeah,
an
but that's
EMP.
one thing.
An
So
EMP.
the EMP
balanced,
is the only
yeah,
threat. The
everything's
EMP
not
is
balanced,
the
don't
threat.
forget.
What's the range? What's the range?
The
on that?
current thought
There's
that
gonna be
a size
static
2
defenses
will
as well.
not do anything.
But not yet.
It may do so. I mean, I had this thought
Eventually.
before that like
Tumbrel's not in yet.
the Tumbrels
That's
are a
true,
bit
that's true.
sort of underpowered compared to like a Saber, but everything's yet to be balanced. Do not take the current stats for any ship, like the Saber or the missiles, or especially not the missiles.
Here's
I'm
So the
assuming there's
Warlock
gonna-
will be good in atmosphere because technically you'll be able to
No.
EMP a ship. Will it crash?
So
Well, the problem is
I
that-
think it will. I think it will.
Yeah,
It will land.
Except for
Gravity will
EMPs
take it.
itself
and
at
it
the
will hit
moment, so it would also crash.
yeah, that's
One
the
thing-
thing.
one thing they
Yeah, well,
talked
yeah. At
about
the
a
moment,
fair,
it will crash as well. Yeah.
one thing they've talked about a fair
bit.
bit is the ability to have like on-ground combat and then airstrikes coming in. So let's say you have a retaliator flying in ready to do an airstrike, and then that retaliator sees it has
An
a missile
airstrike.
lock. An airstrike, yeah. An airstrike. The retaliator doesn't know what size missile is locked on.
No, but if
But
it
You're not,
It might.
but
It depends if it
No,
goes past.
cyclone.
If it hits you, you'll know by
Well,
the signal,
but-
and then you'll know
here's-
by the sound of it as well.
here's-
So
here's
you
the other
know
thing,
it's
though.
past your window.
it might be just
You'll know.
a deterrent thing of
Yeah.
I'm gonna firebomb these troops. Oh wait, shit! I've got a lock on me. I gotta get out of here.
That's the
I
other
think
thing is
the-
that in space it's easy to maneuver around
fair.
away from missiles.
The
That's the
i-
reason why it's easier to
true.
miss.
The
Yeah,
idea,
In atmosphere, you're going straight.
with the ground combat, especially with static installations, is that you will need to disable the defenses before being able to call an airstrike. So effectively, there needs to be buildings that either strip shields, that are EMPs, that do something, or like just entirely jam something so that the ship can not see shit,
Or
so that
just-
they are vulnerable.
Or just if you get hit. I mean, if you get hit in Atmo and your stuff is torn away, you lose a bit of. Or if you get hit in space, you lose a bit of air and you're fine because all the bulkheads are sealed. But if you get hit in Atmo and you lose a wing in Atmo, suddenly, because the flight characteristics are different, right? Suddenly you've lost a wing. That affects your entire flight characteristic, and suddenly you can't fly.
Yeah. So as the missile turret or the AA, you would target specific areas that would cause them
Yeah.
trouble.
On
Like,
the wing.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it's and not just that. Even the ships that don't require atmospheric, who don't have wings, things like the Aurora, you hit it, it becomes off-centered. You're
You're going down.
yeah, because
Yeah.
your maneuvering jets are the things that are keeping you up. And if you hit a maneuvering jet, suddenly you're leaning to one side or the other. You're going to have a hard time turning, a hard time doing anything, and you're down.
And a hard time targeting. You're not going to be able to hit the target that you want.
So,
So-
I mean,
so
you
it-
need to hit
Can't do that anyway.
the
so
Hornets.
I'm-
The Hornets maneuvering
Look,
things
without I'll
are
be
all in
crashing
the,
anyway.
the ring in the middle. So effectively, the Hornet you'd want to do, but you need to do things like splash damage and stuff to damage maneuvering thrusters. Because at the moment,
I don't-
guns don't do any damage to maneuvering
But they
thrusters.
might do
unless it's
different
missiles.
At the moment,
that's
it's
the
going to
moment
change.
nothing matters though, because the thing is that like,
Yeah, it's
even-
all balanced. Come.
yeah.
I'm just saying what
And
I'm saying. I
the
can't
actual-
actually.
the thrusters
They
are
haven't made
rendered,
anything.
but they don't actually have any. They do have
Yeah.
some effect. They don't have a major effect. Once you start having with 3.0 with the item port 2.0, you're going to see a significant change in that. Like,
Also, we could
Okay.
even go to the simple effect of an explosion in space doesn't really do much because there's no oxygen for it to grow on, right? So an explosion in space is pretty contained. It hits you and it's gone. Whereas an explosion in Atmo might be
Shockwave.
so much more. So a size 1 in Atmo might actually do a lot more damage to a ship than a size 1 in
It would
space.
just- yeah,
we
it's
don't
kind of a
know.
missile, wouldn't it? It would-
They probably don't
Well,
know either.
I think
They don't know
sold-
either. It's just like, well, we'll stick some size 2s on it. We'll decide
I
that
think
later. It's just
with
you know.
the Eclipse concept, I think they sold that at the wrong time. They needed to sell that when there was a bit more information about ground fights.
We do need more information about ground. Like, we have none. And they said years ago that they... I mean, I think the last thing that they actually said was that they'd like to have areas in the game where there could be a ground combat where a bunch of people were fighting each other on ground and you could have ships come in and
Yeah,
affect
that's
it.
correct.
That was
I
just
had-
that was just for an area. They never even considered that for an entire planet. We
No,
haven't had an
so-
update on that.
No.
With my interview with Aaron specifically, I talked to him about ground combat and
Okay.
the scale of it, and he said, "Yeah, across planets, you're going to be able to have similar scale to what we have in space, and
Yeah.
it's going to be combined arms."
Yeah,
Um,
and that's going to be insane.
what
Yeah.
are you saying, LPM?
We
Yes,
don't
you
know what that's like right now for
Well,
Star
well,
Citizen.
Because
That
we
is
haven't
name-
played it.
incredible when it comes.
One other game has tried that to this point, I think. and
Planet
that,
Side?
I think.
Yeah,
what
Planetside.
was it? The game that the PS4 game that tied in with Eve.
Oh, no,
Dust
but it didn't
514.
actually do it. It was.
It didn't actually, but like that was the
Dust
only thing that's
514.
yeah. That's the only thing that's even come close to trying
No,
that.
they did it so shit as well.
Yeah.
They made
Exactly.
it PlayStation exclusive rather than PC.
It was
weird saying that
stupid. It was
Eve's on
stupid.
PC.
Yeah.
And then they like really restricted it more and more and more, and made it sort of like, people can bombard from orbit, but it's not really
Yeah.
relevant. And so.
But-
Question for you. Just
Yeah.
if you get EMP'd, you're just in the gravity pool of the planet. You're going to be. Do they have a gravity pool in terms of being able
Yes.
to be dragged into the planet?
Yes.
Yeah, there is gravity.
Yeah. So you
might
could.
be able
So in
to-
theory,
You might be able to glide though.
Yeah.
So the
You might be able to
aerodynamic ships
glide
might
then.
glide. So because you want all
So
you want to do is try and
if-
survive long enough to get your
Re-
power
If you want to fight on the ground,
pretty
buy
cool.
Aegis.
That's pretty
Is
cool.
what it's trying to say. You know.
because if you EMP a
Herald might
big
be
ship,
fucked.
can you imagine? Oh my god, how cool that'd be! Running around trying to reactivate the systems
But
and
how
and
do
the
you
ship
how
to
do
get that
you
shit going.
EMP an entire large like how do you
Yeah,
EMP
well,
an
you get a
entire
portion, you get a
Idris?
small portion of it.
Well, it depends on the sizes of the EMPs that you can get. I mean,
Yeah.
do we know what sizes the EMPs are going to get up
We don't
to?
know. Probably multiple sizes. Like that's the entire thing. There's all this balance. Like maybe an Idris could EMP an entire Idris, but an
Well, I said-
an Aurora could probably EMP maybe 2 turrets on an Idris, and
Well, I
that's
suspect
it.
there's like EMP bombs that you can place inside a ship with boarding
And
parties.
That would
I'm
be
assuming we'll
cool,
have
too.
missiles that will fire EMP bursts as
Yeah.
they come out as
Yeah,
well.
the
like,
Sentinel
you know.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I think with stealth coming on board and the EMP, electronic warfare, and all this stuff is going to become so much more relevant with all these new item 2.0 information for 3.0. That stuff is going to make the game a million times better.
And
in
keep
my
in mind,
opinion.
we still haven't seen an update to the Death of a Spaceman, which was there has to be a reason for you to want to stay alive. So yeah, I can float over to that Idris and plant a bomb.
Also, has to
Why
be a
do I
reason for
want
you
to get off?
Yeah, it has to be a reason for you to risk yourself.
Exactly.
The balance has to be there.
That one of the things that CIG has not at this point addressed is the balance of risk for everything, and that's
And
going
that's
to
going to be a big thing about griefing as well. That's going to play a big part in griefing because don't get me wrong, griefers don't give a crap about the character, but when you're punished a hell of a lot
they
for
do.
just randomly,
Yep.
well, but when
And
you're
it's
randomly
gonna come-
killing,
And that's going to come down to what Tony Zurvek is working on, which is the economy, which is what Tony Zurvek is known for, and it's what he's. I mean, he had a game development studio, and then he turned that game development studio into a
Economics.
brokerage.
Yeah, brokerage.
an
brokerage firm,
economic
yeah. It was a brokerage firm, I think. Yeah. Something like
Yeah,
that,
it was a
investment firm.
brokerage firm. Like he literally turned his gaming studio into a brokerage firm to work on the economics of money. And then Chris was like, "Hey, I've got this thing. This is what I'm trying to do." And Tony was like, "Okay, this is interesting enough that I'll come work for you." And Aaron was like, "Okay, this is interesting enough. I'll take a break from what are they, Tail Worlds or something, who've made the past 15 Lego games that have been hugely acclaimed because they're fucking Lego games and everyone fucking loves Lego games, and he still goes and leaves that to work on Star
it's his
Citizen.
brother though, isn't it? Let's be
It-
fair.
it is
That
his
brother
brother,
they have.
yeah.
He
Agreed.
would be like, all right, bro, if you're going to pay me this much, I'll have.
Agreed.
Well,
But
you know,
I think what's his name? Brian
Chambers.
Chambers, yeah. Like he left
Small guy.
something.
Don't know him. Does anyone know who Brian Chambers is?
No idea who Brian
we
Chambers is.
forgot
But
the god.
all of the studio heads left really significant projects.
I think Brian Chambers, he
was not
probably was
getting
looking
paid.
for something. Yeah, Brian Chambers was looking for something for him and his team. He was
Yeah.
looking
Maybe,
for something
yeah.
that all the guys
Yeah, he
who
did
worked
say he wanted to
Yeah.
take the whole team with him, basically.
Yeah.
Which is great, actually, because they were a good
They
team.
know what they've worked
weren't
together
fucking getting
before, yeah.
paid.
Yeah.
They weren't fucking getting paid.
The
Well-
big thing of the whole thing is that in terms of the people who are behind this, there's a lot of skill, but in terms of like the actual planet side mechanics, we're going to get more and more in depth as we go along. 3.0 is just the first version of it, and
it will require
it's just
a
moves.
hell of a lot of balancing, a fucking load of balancing.
It's going to be like a year's worth of balancing. Delay
even
another
more
year just to
so,
balance the fuck out of it.
We'll probably see Squadron 42 next year. Like, Squadron 42 doesn't require as much balancing, but Star Citizen itself,
I'm not going to say
2019.
I'm not
Every
saying
time they
anything.
bring out a
Squadron
ship,
14.
every time they bring out a ship
Maybe
that needs
wrong.
balancing again, and then if they come up with a new idea, that then needs to be rebalanced. The game changer comes
They're
up.
never going to finish balancing.
You can't.
No, well, no,
Forever.
well, no,
look
game
at
like
look
this
at
is,
look
but
at
it's
Overwatch.
still-
Overwatch
There
is
needs
still
to be
being
a point,
balanced.
though. There needs to
How-
be a point at which they say this is about balanced for FPS.
Yeah.
Because you can't constantly balance a game 10 years, 20 years.
But
down
what
the
are you
line.
balancing
Yeah, you do,
for?
and you
True.
have to.
How do you balance?
Well, no,
an
you
Endeavor?
can't.
Hang on. How do you balance an Endeavor against a Hornet? Because quite frankly, an Endeavor by the stats.
Whoa! That's not that kind of balance I'm talking about. You don't balance that.
No.
They're different ships.
No, you can't. But that's my point. Like, you can't balance that. There's lots of balance that you can't even consider.
The issue with balance is not necessarily
Right?
that. The issue of balance is things like how does the atmosphere affect
Yes.
ships versus other things? How much is this ship is worth, 150,000 AUEC? Is that a good balance for that, or should it be an increase or
There's
decrease?
tons of balancing.
Those
everywhere.
kind of
And that's
balance
the-
things are
but that's
different
the kind of balance that
from-
people want.
from-
People want
But
the
things
ship-to-ship
like-
balance, right?
Things like economy,
That's not gonna
things
happen,
like
though, in beta.
atmosphere,
It's not.
and
It
that sort.
can't.
You'll find an overall medium where everything you'll find a proper system that will balance it straight away, so that when you implement it, it'll all work pretty much instantly. The problem is they cannot balance things. I don't mean like.
Do you read chat too?
It'll work instantly. We've decided this is it. Boom! It's all working.
Just like they do with every Blizzard game.
Just like that.
What I mean is that they'll have a system in place that will gauge the most accurate point, and then yes, they'll work on it to make it as accurate as possible to every other system. But I don't think you can balance things like ship performance once the game is finally released.
Yeah.
You can't then implement something that is unbalanced. It has to be.
Everyone's having a totally different idea of what balance is.
Yeah.
So,
There-
The reality is everybody
let's-
plays the game slightly differently.
Let's move on. Let's move on from
This is-
balance because there's a couple
this is-
different problems.
This is very important, actually. It's this Star Citizen.
Just
You
Paul.
need to have lots of different things in it. So you need to have lots and lots of different choices with your weapons and loadouts, all of which are entirely valid for different reasons. If you have one meta build, that is bad. And that's it. You need to have a billion different things going on at once.
But
And
also
that-
understand that your Hornet for combat is not going to be balanced against the the breadwinning of an Endeavor built for making money.
Well, the thing is, I think
Like,
with the
you
component
can't- you
system,
can't-
that takes that out of it, because you're balancing how would a size 1 missile affect the size 1 shield. It doesn't matter what ship it's on. That's how you balance it. You're balancing
the intention is that
and then
eight
ships of
Hornets
how
will be
much
able to take down
effect-
Idris or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
all about quantity.
Well, I think
You've got
what they
skill,
had said
then you've got
originally
player
was
skill comes into it, which you cannot balance because
No,
I
three-
can
no,
take
no,
a
no.
Gladius and wreck you in your Super Hornet.
Three Hornets
And
should
people might
be
go,
able-
"Oh, what the hell?"
3 Super Hornets should be able to take down a Constellation, and that has always been the
Based on who?
standard.
Mhm.
But who's
Based
the
on
sta-
based
but
on
who's the
Chris,
standard?
based on Chris.
Yeah,
Chris is the
what they
standard.
said. It's actually
Yeah,
what they
it's-
said.
with
This
his
is based on
gamepad.
Chris.
So
This
Chris
is
basically plays it with his
Well, no.
gamepad.
Chris
Sits there with his little gamepad.
No,
and
no,
goes,
do not show.
No. Hang on. Don't insult Chris for his not being able to play the game. Because guess what? I can't play the fucking game either.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I can't play the
Insult
game.
Eris for not being able to play the game.
Yeah.
I'm
Insult
fully-
me for not being able to play the game. 'Cause
Do it,
I can't
do it.
fucking fly. But I can shoot. And guess what? I'm not in it for flying or shooting. I'm in it for something else. It's not, the balance is not entirely about, can my freelancer kill your Hornet?
No,
it
the
fucking
game
can't.
isn't about combat per se. It's not. The game is not a combat game.
No.
It just currently is at the moment.
Combat is
That's what
part
it
of
is at
it.
the moment.
Combat
Here's
is
the-
part
so
of it.
Chris
so here's
doesn't
the
pay
problem
me.
about balance, and this is
Chris
the reason why it
pays
gets
me to kill
convoluted
you.
as shit.
Let's listen to Paul. Let's listen to Paul.
This is the reason why combat gets
Paul's
everything gets
lost it.
diluted as shit. Is that we've had combat for a long time, and combat is what most people focus on. And I've heard a lot of people complain that this ship is better than this, or this weapon's better than that. And then the
What
meta
else
is-
should I focus on, Paul? Tell me what else I can do in the verse. At the moment.
3.0. Focus on
On your head.
Do it.
Focus on your head.
Tell me.
So there are other things that will be popping up here eventually, and that's going to start throwing things into more confusing. The meta will be kind of confused because at the end of the day, the freelancer's never going to be able to fight as a effective shooter, but. with something like the cargo mechanics that's coming out in 3.0, suddenly
Drawing of a penis.
that's a way of making money. You know, suddenly a freelancer can make you money. And if you see similar games like Eve or Elite, you don't necessarily have to be combat all the time. However, you do have to worry about other people doing combat, which is where that kind of then I'll kill you.
No, combat is very important.
It is important, but it's
part and parcel of the game. But it's not going to be what Star Citizen's about.
No, and
Star Citizen is about the economy. It's about making the money. Real life, it's about making money.
It's about more than that. It's about because it's a sandbox game.
About a dream.
It's about whatever you want it to be, really. But the two major things that people will go on is reputation and money. And by making reputation, that can be for combat, through trading, through whatever, and the money is what you get when you do the missions. Those two combined will get you the better equipment, better gear, better missions, which gets you better money, which gets you better influence, which gets you better positions, and so on and so forth. Those are the two main things. And everything is balanced around those ideas. So the economy system is where it's being balanced, but at the end of the day, it's really hard to balance. It's really hard to balance combat in a game like Star Citizen where there's not a direct linear path. It's not like Elite Dangerous where if you want to win, you go from a Sidewinder all the way up to what is it?
Watching. I'm sorry. I'm already arranging a 1v1. I'm trying
to think of the biggest ship that exists in Elite. I can't remember what's out there, but it's not going from like a tiny ship to a huge ship, and the bigger ship always wins all the fights. It's more complicated because you also have to deal with the fact that multiple smaller ships can beat a bigger ship because bigger ships aren't going to be able to turn as fast. And so when you see those kind of balancing, it's not something that's going to be able to be done until close to the end of the game development cycle itself. That's the reason why balance is confusing and becomes problematic, is that not everyone can agree on what balance is more important. So.
And remember that one freelancer should be able to run away from one Hornet because a Hornet is a short-range ship, but one Cutlass should be able to kill and capture a freelancer, but two Gladius should be like there's all these things and all this stuff, and it's there is not going to be like
what's a Gladius?
It's like a Gladius, but said
it's like a
Gladius.
It's like a
Gladius, but it smells nice.
I am the speech.
It sounds like this is the lady version. This is
I
the
am the
pink
speech
version,
police
right?
today. Please explain.
Whoa.
So,
All right.
one Gladius is not going to be able to beat one Cutlass, and one Cutlass.
What kind of Cockney accent is this? This is like.
I
So
prefer Eris as a Brit.
But then
I love it.
again, I disagree completely with you, because once you have components, once you know, like at the moment, I stick 3 mass drivers on my Gladius, I stick 4 arresters on my Gladius, and I can kill a Cutlass.
Okay, but
And I want that, and I can change my
should you
component
kill
parts.
should you kill an Endeavor with that?
No, because the Endeavor's
What if there were children?
But the
on board?
But I can hurt it.
Small
I can hurt it. I
attachment
should
of
be able
children
to,
were
I
on
should be
board.
able to
Small
scare it.
children.
Okay,
Of the age of about 3 years old.
should you be able to kill an Idris with that?
No, of course not. It's huge.
Okay, should you be able to kill a Constellation with that?
Fuck you, board.
Should you be able to kill a Connie with that?
What's say that again, sorry?
Should you be able to kill a Connie with that?
What, with my master drivers? No, I can't with the current loadout. If I was to stick it to PP, I mean, I did it with I fought a Connie with the Reliant the other day. The one, the free, is it the
2v1?
No, not free Reliant. No,
But
the
should a Reliant be
Carthu,
able to
the
kill
Carthu.
anything?
Reddit.
The Cartual.
So
The Cartual.
little bit of Madness's argument is that skill should allow you occasionally to be able to kill an Idris.
Yes.
with a Hornet.
100%, yes.
Yeah. Now,
But
at a
With
certain
the
point,
right
you
loadout,
will
with the
be
right
shit.
loadout, you should be able to punch above.
You are
Oh
good.
god damn! You
are
just said
good.
punch above red class. Drink. Everybody drinks.
You are good though.
Yeah, the fidelity of Star Citizen.
But
beyond
should there be?
They're
You
better.
are good.
They're better.
I cannot fly.
Yeah.
If I get my Gladius with your same loadout, Should I be able to kill anyone else? Fuck no, because I can't fucking fly.
You not initially, but you'll be able to do more damage than you realise. Yeah.
Okay,
It won't take you long.
Okay,
It won't take you long.
balance.
One last thing on this. Should they balance? Yeah,
It's a
should they
very
do
low
balance for the top end of people, or should they do it for the common people? So when you're talking about balance, should it always be based
averages.
on? You
The
think
middle.
averages?
You always do
If
it's
you
always
go-
the middle, isn't it? They always take
I
the
think
worst and
averages
the
should
best,
be the
and
point
what's the
because
middle.
that is the balance point. Because then people will do less. People will
I
do
think
better.
they should actually.
that is the overall.
I would argue that you need to balance with the best players in the game.
You need to balance with the top. If
Top
you look
down.
at something like
Oh, okay.
Overwatch balances with the top players.
No, it doesn't. Overwatch specifically
No.
as a Blizzard game is the one that doesn't, and that's
That
why
doesn't.
it's really shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I
That's-
thought it
I would
I
say
thought
the
it did
best
originally.
players in the
Sorry,
game
but-
the best players in the game need to be the ones who
It
talk
is.
about balance. And I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not just saying that because like SE4, I deal with a lot of the guys who do play this game a lot.
It should be the best.
They also
Yeah, I agree.
have the most experience with this. They're the ones. These are the people who play the game the most. They have the most in depth, and they have the little tiny things that they like that piss them off that need to get changed. And if they change it just a little bit, it affects not just them, but it affects everybody else. And helps them out. It helps
thing
out
is-
other people
And
significantly.
I can't fly. I cannot fly. Here's the thing. I do not play Star Citizen at all. But I know I
End of
don't. I
conversation.
don't.
End the
It's
conversation. I don't
It's
play.
great, but at the same time, I know a shit ton about Star Citizen, except for the gameplay. I know all of what they're working on, and I do.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh then when you said except for the gameplay.
Well, it is. Except for how it plays, and I don't play it, and I'm hoping to maybe in 3.0 start devoting some of my free
Start
time
playing the game. Yeah.
to playing the game.
Good.
But
Good. I'm glad
as
they
it is
come-
right now, like I keep in mind I keep track of what they're doing.
I mean, nobody.
I
wants to
can't play.
the game anyway, let's
Yeah,
Well,
I
no,
mean-
lots of people
No,
talk
yeah,
about
even
it.
after
Let's
3.0,
let's
I
move on
try
from
with
this,
it.
guys. We've spent about
I
20
can't
minutes
fucking
on this.
play.
Let's
I
Let's
can't
move on to the
fucking
next
play.
one.
I can't even remember what the question was.
doing a lot of the balancing on the ships and stuff. They did talk to people like Rogue Squadron. They did talk to some of the best pilots to help them, and they did listen to what their feedback and stuff was. They're not listening to them currently in terms of ship HUD layouts, though. They should be doing that. I thoroughly agree. There is a lot of comments from the RS
I like
guys.
the
and a
feedback.
lot of
The
the
other-
ship HUD
the other problem
layouts.
about it that
ignoring
they-
the Gladius, but just generally, they should be listening to them because
I will
they've
say
got a lot
that
of
they
valid
don't need to
points.
listen to them necessarily right now because a lot of that stuff is not stuff that's going to be because shit changes so much in the game from patch to
But
patch.
for the combat ships, though, they shouldn't be dicking around. They should
But
be
the
listening to
the
what
problem
they're
about it
talking
is that the entire concept of combat is going to change around with Item Port 2.0. The ability of changing, of having, power actually matter in a game where
Combat
you
doesn't
overheat.
change that much.
Yes, it will.
Combat doesn't.
It's going to slow
Information
down.
is
It
key.
will slow
Information-
down
don't-
significantly. I
You
guarantee
don't
you.
take HUDs away. You keep information easy, visible, clarity. You don't want to have fucking animations on
You know
guns.
nothing.
Priority.
Madness. You know nothing.
You don't. No pilot that fires gives a shit. All they care about is the point and target on their screen hitting the target. All this animation bullshit is pointless. You want to know that your gun is going to kill that motherfucker in front of you or hit that target that you're pointing at. That's what you care about. No desync, 60 frames, smooth transition. You want.
And we're not,
what you
and
care
we're never
about.
going to get that until later in development, and that's the problem. Is that when you're trying to
Gunfire.
We're
balance,
never gonna get
Can I-
that.
Oh, wait,
until
can I
later.
just
all
say-
we're not going to get that. I'm going to
Madness
say we're
run
never
out
going to
of
get that in
line, I know it.
alpha. We'll
Can
never
I
get
just
that in
say that
alpha.
people are asking now
Clam
because I don't
singing.
play why I'm on the captain's table, and can I just show you all while I'm on the captain's
Oh my
table?
god! Don't be screaming.
Yeah,
It's
Tiger!
because Eris pays
Count
attention
round.
to every little bit of news.
I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. Look, that's
Yeah.
it right there, boys. Look, seriously, end of conversation. This done.
Madness, have you run out of wine? You've run out of wine, haven't you?
No, I've still got half.
That's the problem. That's the
I'm still
biggest
happy.
problem. is that
Next
you
problem.
run out.
Next.
Let's move. Next
question.
question.
Next question. Moving on. From CVH Maverick, who asks, "Do you think Sean Tracy will get his Mech Warrior type ground vehicle at some point?" He said he'd love to
Yes.
be involved in the Mech Warrior
Yeah,
game.
definitely.
I think we'll
Yeah.
get it eventually. I hope.
Yeah.
But
Well, keep in mind at CitizenCon last year, I can't even remember who I was talking to, but
Don't
they were
name drop.
talking. I can't name drop because I don't remember who it was. They were talking about how what they really wanted for a ground vehicle was the ability to jump it, kind of like the Mako in Mass Effect.
All right.
No, definitely.
Wonder if that showed up.
We will definitely get the Titan armor because that is. Is that what we're talking about? The Titan armor.
Well, yeah, it may not be a size of a mech from Mech Warrior, but
No, not maybe
No.
mech. But we've already discussed the whole this next Star Marine or whatever it was. That it's probably not going to happen now. It was initially an idea, which was to design something eventually as a Titan armor. So Star Citizen know about it. They know they want to create that sort of thing, and I don't see why they can't create it and have 2 size 1 weapons as arms. That just
makes sense.
Can I be honest? I honestly think that they should focus more of their time on delivering farming and that kind of simulation
before we get to
for
that
the planet than
Hell
the
yes.
If I'm being honest, I just think that there's a lot more that they could.
I will
there's
say
enough-
one caveat.
As a combat person, I love combat, but I seriously think the mech suit. Come on, seriously. Unless it's the the loading cargo.
And unless we're
that's cool,
seeing
that's
something
fine.
for Squadron 42 specifically, if it was designed to be put into Squadron 42, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But other than that, I agree. We should see more content on non-combat content, which is what we're seeing hopefully with 3.0, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Headclot, who asks, "What is the 600i? Is it a larger ship like a Connie? Just curious." Yes, it's somewhere between a Freelancer and a
Connie
Connie.
size, isn't it? I think,
Yeah.
And that's I reckon it's coming Citizen.
The concept is
mind-
coming out CitizenCon.
Keep in mind if
Gamescom.
RSI event if Avenger not Avenger, Aurora, that's like the workmanship. Well, guess what? The Connie is the upsize of a workmanship. If you look at the 300 series, that's like luxury. That's your BMW. That's your Mercedes. The 600 is the upsize
version of that.
of the Mercedes. It's your luxury.
Origin makes ships for the rich.
And I know Board
It's a yacht,
Gamer probably
right?
can't say anything here, but
It's a yacht.
What
It's
can
a
I say
luxury
about what's
yacht.
going on?
600.
nothing.
Where am I?
Oh yeah, the 600 series. It's certainly
Nothing.
shit.
You can't say anything.
It's
I can say-
beautiful.
I can say stuff. I can say that it's.
It's a ship. It exists.
Yeah, he hasn't got a clue, people. He hasn't seen shit. He's just pretending.
All right, let's get through this pretty quickly, guys, because we are getting late here and getting on tangents and stuff like that. Next question comes from Uber Nerd, who asks, "What do you think about the news of the most recent schedule report about rotating and orbiting planets, giving us organic day and night cycles?" It's cool.
I hope it comes.
They
said that it's coming.
They said it's now in for 3.0.
In.
So
It's in.
Yeah.
How can you possibly be against that?
that's good.
Yeah, there's nothing to say no, is it?
It's a required feature, effectively, for
Yeah.
3.0. When they looked
I
at the
thought it
schedule,
was part
they
of
went,
it.
"Hang on, we do
Yeah.
need rotating planets because it's a core game mechanic."
It's like when fucking No Man's Sky said no, we shouldn't have rotating because that's too complicated for humans. And Star Citizen
They
went,
only see in
"Fuck
24
you!"
frames a second. They won't give a fuck what it does. Not in.
Damn, son. Arctic Games asks, "Do you guys think we will see info on old ships being reworked before 3.0, i.e. the freelancers?" No, probably not.
Freelancers, no, not before 3.0. We might see them by 3.1 or 3.2 because the freelancers do need a rework, especially after the Cutlass rework. Because the Cutlass right now is actually probably bigger than a
I don't think the
freelancer.
freelancer is going to get. I don't think freelancer is going to rework. I
Cutlass
think
kicks it
No,
ass.
it
They
needs
had a
rework.
very
Cutlass is kissing his
update,
ass,
don't
kicking
they?
his ass.
The
No,
freelancer
the
currently is fine.
freelancer genuinely needs a rework because the Cutlass now probably has a bigger cargo bay than the freelancer, and the freelancer is actually supposed to be the Cutlass's target.
Yeah.
Like the Cutlass should be able
Balance.
to take. Yeah, it is balanced. It is.
Next question comes from Auntie, who asks, "What cute or cuddly animals do you want in Star Citizen?" Cats.
Chow chow.
Tribbles.
Sheep.
Someone with bare hands.
Someone with bare hands. Yes.
Tiger.
Tiger. Cute and
Cats.
cuddly.
Tribbles. Parrots.
Next question comes from Mane015, who asks, "Do you think we'll be able to select a backstory for our character in Squadron 42? Example like Dragon Age Origins or Mass Effect?" No,
You
I
won't be
don't
able
think
to
so.
select it from a category or anything.
Make it up,
No.
mate.
No,
Yeah,
hang
hang
on.
Create your
Hang on,
backstory.
no, guys, remember, Squadron 42 is set before Star Citizen.
That's
So
your
you
story,
will
right?
you
29,
can play
42
through
apparently,
you
isn't
can
it?
play through Squadron 42, that will set your story, or if you choose not to play through Squadron 42, you will be a civilian,
Hobo.
not a citizen and that is your story.
But the question is like at the end, like in Dragon Age Origins or Mass Effect, and a lot of the BioWare games, they have a bunch of preset story like beginnings. Like in Mass Effect, you have like you were born on Earth, you're born in space, or you're born off world, and that affects the storylines as it goes through.
I think there will be a few of those, but
to tell you where you are.
I think there will be a few of those, and there will probably be more of those if you choose not to play through Squadron 42. But if you play through Squadron 42, those will come through there.
More importantly, Aris, can you teach a sandworm to love?
Yes,
I can.
You can teach anything to love. All it requires is the right amount of tea.
I bet the blowjobs are amazing though.
And blowjobs. And blowjobs.
Gundam Citizen,
On an enlarged hologram, definitely.
Gundam Citizen asks, do you feel CIG short us on this week's ATV? Being a sub, I feel they screwed us on content. We talked about that a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah.
this week they did, because they went, next week we're changing. It's like,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Where's the report?
What about this week?
What about this week?
And
No, they
keep
said
in
they
mind- hang on.
seriously they were like, you've been naughty, you've offended us because you've been criticizing our ATVs, you've been criticizing our freaking schedule report, you've been
Now-
posting things on Spectrum, you've been da-da-da-da, so we're taking away your toys.
So it
You've
should
been
be
bad.
Now, for those
people.
For those of you who don't know, and this probably only comes from
Redacted.
a team of transcribers over at Relay because they're insane. This week's ATV was actually 7 hours late.
Yeah. But
Now,
when did we do know, because we're sitting up in the UK waiting for it.
Yeah.
Wait,
Waited for
really?
16 minutes.
3 o'clock this morning.
Hey, keep
Seven
in
of them,
mind,
Chris.
one of our transcribers, Sunjammers, is from the UK. He sits up and waits for it to transcribe. So, but I think one of the things this week is they probably waited so long for the studio update and it didn't come out, or it didn't come out to their standard, and they were like, no, we're just going to nix the studio update, we're going to re-record a new intro and push it out, and it's only going to be 15 minutes.
Well,
I don't know.
Because
But you
the
said-
studio
you
update,
said
it is there. It's just in the
Yeah.
July monthly report. It's just not on there.
I mean,
I think
it's
they
just not
wanted
in
to address
ATV.
it quick. I don't think it was not ready. I just think they wanted to change it up immediately because of the hate that the assault that's around.
can I
They
just,
didn't have the new
Chris
features
was-
to put in. They had this job, but not the new features, so they couldn't put in the other thing that they want to put in next week because they didn't have it.
just read Chris's body language. I mean, Aaron's already said that ultimately Chris has the final say
On
on
everything.
the PR. So he will have seen, they probably had another 15-20 minutes of content delivered, and he went, no.
Nah.
Yeah.
He said to them, no, I'm pissed. His hands, this is a man, if you ever watch any of the ATVs, when he's excited and happy, look at this amazing thing, this 3D printed. Woo! Hands everywhere. The guy's hands were closed, and
we have
Sandy
seen
was next
Chris
to him.
I
angry.
hate you all.
We
I
have
am
seen
pissed
we have
with you
seen
guys.
Chris angry before,
He's
and like
not happy.
keep in mind, Chris doesn't enjoy these delays any more than we do. Like, he's pissed that it's
Don't any of them do.
He loves delays.
Let's hold it back. Let's hold it back another week. Come on, look at
Yeah.
their
Puppet
faces.
master.
But he's
Why
more
not
pissed if it's
delays?
not
The
right.
game's been ready for ages, but let's just hold it back one more week.
let's just
Yeah.
force those bastards to wait.
No, I think he's probably.
What
I can
a
imagine
bunch of
him in a meeting, going, somebody coming in. I could just imagine sometimes. You know, there's that adult. I mean, I don't want to say the name, but there's that silly clip with Mr. Hitler, and like I can imagine Chris getting really angry when the guys come into the meeting.
Wait.
Sorry,
hang
I
on.
don't
Hang on.
want to compare.
Mr.
I'm just
Hitler?
saying this-
Mr. Hitler?
I'm saying this that
Mr.
scene
Hitler?
on YouTube. I'm sorry. I didn't want to say the name.
Downfall.
It's
It's
that famous-
Downfall. It's from the movie Downfall.
Mr. Hitler.
Yeah, you know what I
okay.
mean.
Okay.
You know what I mean. Everyone
It's the
subscribes
Hitler
it, and I can
React
imagine-
ones where he they
I can
change the
imagine-
subtitles
Yeah.
and that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you were on first name
It's
terms
the
with
accent. I don't. I'm not.
It's Adolf.
I'm just saying that famous clip where everyone subtitles it. I could just imagine people coming into him on the day saying, "Chris, 3.0 is delayed. We've messed up. Do you know what I have to do? I don't have
Das
to go
ist
for the
dein
ATV."
Stackenblocken! Du hast einen Kopf wie ein Kartoffeln!
And I can imagine Brian Chambers being in the other room just going, that's not
Yeah.
cool, man.
We We've seen. We don't need this.
We don't need this shit.
All right,
We've seen
let's
Chris
move
Roberts have
along
a
so our
hissy fit
British
now, haven't
friends
we?
can go to sleep because I know it's late there.
Oh, I'm having a great time. Carry on. I'm-
Edison Trent
Well, why-
7112 asks, what do you hope
Hop.
the
What
next
do I hop? I hop beer.
the Nest concept set ship is, and what role do you hop it is? I am
600i.
myself hopping for a Nader Corvette or ORE like mining ore.
O-R-E.
Not your first
The,
name.
the cruiser. I'm sorry, dude. This is just so bad at English. What do you hope the next concept ship is, and what role it is? I myself am hoping for another Corvette or a cruiser. I don't think we're gonna see that. We're gonna see more civilian.
I want more ground vehicles.
We need a second. We need a second constellation. The Retaliator is too military focused. The Constellation is very open. We need a second open mid-range vehicle. The Freelancer and Cutlass are too small. Other things are too big. We need a second open. So it's going to be the 600i.
Wait, after the 600i, though. We know it's 600i.
Oh, after the 600. Okay.
I'm
yeah.
sure we'll
After-
see. We may see a small salvage ship, like a one-person salvage ship, similar to
I'd
the.
quite like
Prospector.
a game-changing ship.
The
Oh
game
my
changer ship.
God. I'd
Look
like
at
something.
him.
I'd
Look
like
at him.
something to
Like,
like.
change
Well,
Minecraft.
let's talk
That
about
kind of game
like
changer.
bases. Like we've talked about how there can be stuff in like we are gonna eventually be able to influence stuff on ground and in space, right? How do you get like if you looked at like Star Wars Galaxies, you'd buy a greenhouse and then you'd walk to where you want to put the greenhouse and then you'd put the greenhouse there, but that doesn't make sense for Star Citizen. Star Citizen is going to need either a car or a ship to like
All right, so Eris, I'm going to explain exactly.
shit out.
I'm going to explain this something in like 2 seconds. What Eris is asking is for a ship that's big enough that can carry.
A greenhouse.
Yeah, that's it.
A greenhouse.
Well, not just a
Cargo
like,
hauler.
a
I want to carry
base.
it.
I want a
Specifically for
base
greenhouses.
building ship.
A base building ship. Yeah.
I want a base building ship.
I really want allotments in space, and I just want a ship that just drops
And
allotments.
some raised beds. Don't forget the raised beds. We need some raised
We,
beds.
Get over there,
we
mate.
need space
Off we
HEB and
You
space.
all laugh, but then it's gonna happen.
So long as I don't have to fly it, I don't have to fly it. I can just walk around it. That's all you really. You don't have to fly it.
Until he goes into the atmosphere and then everything inside the greenhouse burns up.
Hello. I'd like to grow some tea and some bangers and some mash.
We need to
He's gonna be
balance
sat in that captain's
sunflowers.
chair, pointing at
Sunflowers
everyone.
to hornets.
Yes. Sunflowers and.
Dandyland.
Yes.
And
All
I
right.
would like this. I'd like to know what's happening with the Saber Raven. And
Yeah.
my other favorite ship, I've already spoken to Jay Lee. I want a shipjacker meets Mad Max meets Nomad land-based war truck.
Oh, okay. I think we're going to see NPCs that are scrappers that do have that kind of vehicle that
That's what I
aren't
want.
necessarily.
Like
Dirty. I want to see massive
vibe.
exhausts on ships and bits that engine parts that you've seen. Just I want to see. I want them to take all the parts of all the ships we've got currently and just
You
get
want a
dirty
reaver.
with it.
You want
Yeah.
you want
Dirty.
reavers.
Reaver
Yeah,
ship,
I want
yeah.
dirt. I want
You
dirt.
want-
I want,
you want reavers.
nonsense. I want
Yeah.
nonsense. Everything
What
makes
They said
sense.
we're not going to get that.
Make
We're not
no
gonna get
sense.
I want
I
a
think
Death
they'll
Star.
get something similar.
Why
They'll
don't
get-
we
Never
have-
say never.
Yeah.
Why don't we have a Star Citizen Death Star yet?
We do. It's called the
Oh, the
it's called the
Enterprise.
Retaliator.
That was almost crowdfunded.
We
Did you ever
do.
see that Death Star?
We have the Enterprise. It's called the Endeavor.
It's called Templar One's Gladius. That's what it's called. That's the Death Star right there. You go near him, he'll kill you in seconds. That's for sure.
But
Alrighty,
they
so-
tried to crowdfund the Death Star.
Yeah.
And they got to like $200 and something thousand, and then it didn't quite make the $6 billion that
Is required.
But it was a genuine crowdfunding.
The next question comes from Triangulus, who asks, "What do you guys think about the routing keyboard? You guys seen that?
What?
Or is it the touch pressure one?
The pressurized
it's
one.
an
So like
analog-
it's like
analog keyboard.
if you
It's the big brains.
if you touch it, if you just tap it, it just goes a little bit. Like if you're just, like
Yeah.
flying a ship, it just
Like
a little
pressure
bit.
sensors.
Yeah.
Thrusters,
Yeah.
thrusters and throttles. It's really great. It's
It's not going to
from
help
someone-
me. I will
Who
still
makes
crack.
that? Who
From
makes
someone who
that?
has to type
Routing.
130, 140 words a minute to transcribe, fuck that shit.
Yeah, it's for game. It's a
Dedication,
gaming.
Eris.
It's a gaming thing, man.
You know what?
You can change the keys for it is on it.
Get
I think
that
it's great.
on a G13
Yeah,
on a
something like
little
that.
tiny like a little tiny WASD. That's all you need it on. 'Cause
Eris
fuck,
can't
I
have
want
an
Eris,
opinion
Eris.
on the Wooting keyboard until he plays the game. Okay,
Okay, Eris, I will
Surface.
educate you. I'll educate you
played
here.
the game, damn it.
Eris, I'm gonna teach you something. Okay, so currently, if you want to do, okay, so Aaron, if you want to roll,
not
for
good.
example, okay,
Aaron?
so you
Aaron.
use
You're Aaron
Eris. Sorry. Eris.
Sweet.
I'm
Okay,
drunk.
all of you,
You
you're
wanna
all
roll,
working
you
for
go
me.
to the
You're all
fridge.
working for me now.
Okay, Eris. Q and E does your rolling, okay?
Yep.
So currently, if you want to be able to do really smooth, slow rolls, the best way to do it is to have pedals.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Or yeah, well, no, you're not even going to use a joystick and stuff to do rolls. You're going to use pedals to do beautiful rolling. That's the best way to do it. Okay. And rolling is fantastic for avoiding bullets. But with what this does, this potentially enables you to do, if you can set it up the way I'm thinking you can set it up, you'll be able
And
to
you
do
can.
very smooth, lovely rolling, which means you'll be able to do really good avoiding. And that's a fantastic thing for people who potentially don't have the desk space. Maybe who like if Nubifier, for example, you like to play on a standing up desk. Do you know what I mean? That enables you to do that movement. And
I
that's-
think that would be great, but I think it's better in a small form, not a full keyboard. Because you use WASD, maybe Q and E, R, T, a few other keys for that. You don't use K, J, anything
On
else.
Star
Right?
Citizen, you do. You use your keyboard times 30.
You need all the
You need
buttons,
all-
you know.
You need all the buttons and the modifiers. I mean, that's one of the issues with Star Citizen, which is why they've got the new interaction system, so people can use a mixture of hotkeys and go.
Yeah, I need more keys at the moment. I'm struggling.
I'm
'cause
just telling you,
I've got
I
so
don't
many
need
hotkeys
any of your
in
thought
my-
control.
Yeah. I'm struggling. I need another keyboard just to fill my stream. I'm like, I need this key to put Harley's ass on screen. And I'm just like, fucking hell, Harley, get your ass on screen.
This is
darling.
my pornography key.
Yeah.
That's
Pornography.
That's why I don't stream.
She's not getting this one.
Boobs.
All right.
Need more
Well,
keys.
Let's
I will-
move on from Harley Quinn's ass and actually get some stuff done
Why?
here.
Why would we move from that?
Uh,
Come on.
Because she's
Wait,
20 foot tall in VR, and we don't want to deal with that right now.
Oh my god, it's just everywhere. You're like, put on the VR set headset, and it's just wow.
Mayonnaise.
It's alright. It'll be Halloween soon. There will always be like 20 girls dressed as Harley Quinn.
They're all fine.
Mayonnaise 15 asks, if you could pick a capital ship to own in real life, what ship would you choose and why?
Endeavor.
In real life.
If you could get an actual in your daily
I
life.
don't think they're in real life.
In the car park near your house. You can't fly it. You just.
Yeah, I guess the
Biggest
Idris.
one.
A retribution, and I take over the Earth.
Yeah, there we go. The next question comes from Gundam Citizen. Do you think the Cutlass Black needs a jump drive? If so, will they add it as an option as an add-on? It does have an
have
add-on.
one.
It already has one. Yeah.
It has one as default.
Does it actually come with one though?
Yeah,
That's the
don't worry
question.
It's
about
going.
that. You're
It
gonna
will have one. I don't know if it's got one
I
right
think
now,
it
but it
comes-
will have
I-
one.
It does have one. Yeah.
I'm pretty
got
positive it comes
If
with one as default. The only things
It's
that
got no
don't
toilet though.
have one as default are the
No.
really
No,
s-
a lot of
Gonna
ships
hold-
don't. A lot of ships don't
You're
have,
gonna hold.
them as.
You're gonna have.
I
default.
think the
You're gonna have to
Cutlass
hold
Black does. I'd have to look that up.
However,
I don't know about you
however,
guys, but when
all
I
of them
play
have the
Pug,
ability.
I immediately need a pee upon the tension of the last few minutes.
Yeah.
So if you're in a Cutlass and it's
No
a
one
tension
wants-
drop zone,
A spaceship spinning of shit.
immediately I'd be like, lads, hang on.
Listen, Madness. You just open the side
Sorry, you got the
doors and
Gladiator.
piss out. That's how that
It
works.
was full
You
of
know?
shit.
I'm a bit nervous. This drop zone.
Next question comes from Bing R, who asks, "Does the size of your ship affect if someone will let you dock, and how hard is it to dock? There is no docking.
There is no docking
They're
yet.
taking docking out, so no.
Don't. Yeah.
Docking might happen eventually, but it's not
Yeah.
in the cards right
No.
now.
What you're going to see with docking,
Specifically docking collars. Like,
Yeah.
There's going to be other methods of
Yes.
ship-in-ship docking.
But
effectively,
no
or
docking
jumping
collars.
out.
yeah.
Giggity.
collars.
But you will be also, if you're going to dock with like large stations, it's going to be like what you have at Port Alsa right now, or you'll have something like a
landing
bay.
There's a reason they have landing pads, not docking collars.
And there will be docking like tubes that will work for the larger ships that we already see in Olisar.
Yeah.
Like the
screensaver for Olisar, isn't it? It has the Idris or whatever.
But that's not going to be something you can deploy from your Aurora to another Aurora.
No. Next question comes from Gundam Citizen. What content will we see at Gamescom? I think we already covered that, so I'm going to skip over that. Next question comes from Miserable's Teapot. Why am I filled with vodka?
Why not?
Because it's got to be filled with something. and the tea's downstairs.
Tumbril Meat Spin Simulator asks, for the UK people in chat, how is Brexit working out for you? Can you give us a update? I'm gonna let Madness take this entire question. There's your answer. There's your answer.
I don't know what everyone's so upset about. The pound's dropped, so I get paid in dollars anyway. So
it's great.
It makes no difference.
I just
for
have
America,
to ask,
so.
how do you guys like your Donald Trump light? And Paul, how do you like your Donald Trump? Trudeau for the win!
We all love freedom, which is why I'm wearing this.
Something Trump is trying to stop.
This is now my sanctioned outfit according to the U.S. government. All broadcasters must be wearing their appropriate freedom attire for the God King.
That is free.
Yeah, totally free. I mean, we got it for free. We just have to wear it. That's all. Next question comes from Reach Around, who asks, "Will Star Citizen sheep that don't kick? Will Star Citizen sheep that don't kick? I think is
what?
Will Star Citizen have sheep that won't kick? I think is the question.
Oh, I think he's trolling.
No, I think it'll show up on a planet.
No, that's why you have wellies.
If it's not kicking, it ain't alive. That's
No. So all you need to do is evolve sheep with their knees on the other side, so they can only bend inwards.
They're going to kick their own bellies.
Future Welsh.
Why you have space wellies? Space wellies, they don't kick us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is speaking from a man that lives in Wales, so he knows. He knows.
Basic space Welshness.
Basic knowledge right there. Every Welsh kid gets taught it. Wellies are a necessity in the fields.
Commander Hellfire asks, instead of a penis slider, what if you could have a prehensile penis? That's DLC. You have to get the expansion pack.
Proper conversation.
Wait,
that was going to be a proper question when it started instead of a penis slider. We knew a good question was coming from this.
Yeah. What didn't they have that in Age of Conan? And we all know how that will.
Yes.
What happens if, they talk about biotic parts? What if you get shot in the cock?
That's what I'm saying. You have a biotic
cock.
Would it be only one shot to hit you in the cock?
Oh! Shots fired.
Maybe a headshot.
In the cock, apparently. Cock shots.
One shot it
Cock
in the
shots.
cock. Penis stopped the shot.
Hiding behind my cock. That's all going wrong.
Alien Sex Dolls asks, have you played genital jousting? No.
These questions, Paul, are getting better and
absolutely. This is obviously back when we were This is back when we were talking about
on stage.
What do you think we're doing underneath the screen now?
I am literally crying.
This is what happens when the British invasion happens
I'm
on the
hoping
captain's
we
table.
get invited back. I hope you guys want us back. Let us know if you want us back.
This is exactly how every single British table ends up, in terms of just like very serious tone British men asking questions about dong sliders. Yeah,
the genuine question.
Toilet jokes and cocks. That's pretty much where we end up on an evening night with a traffic cone. Kind of
CVH Maverick asks, will 3.0 have the room atmosphere system? I believe they will.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry,
they've already done it, haven't they?
The room
as
atmosphere
long as
system.
you're not asking about the room system, because if you're asking about the room system,
that's dead.
I will ram your head down a toilet.
No, the room atmosphere system, meaning like that. If you're does your
Yeah.
room have atmosphere?
Atmosphere, yes.
Yeah, it
So
will.
here's a question then, just on that, because I'm interested. You land on planet, you go to one of these outposts and stuff on a moon. Will there be a different? Will there be a different atmosphere inside those buildings to the moon atmosphere?
Could be.
Yes.
So So the idea is that on each of those buildings and ships, atmospheres are effectively at the moment anyway going to be.
The key point where you spoke
Sorry?
there, Board,
What?
was cut off.
Yeah, the end. Would you?
I thought you were.
They're going to be like Earth-like. So
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
gravity on ships,
So-
Earth-like. You're going to have atmosphere Earth-like.
Because we saw them doing the
Keep
jumping
in mind,
on the moon, like running and
Yeah.
doing all the silly little dances, which would look really fun, and I can't wait to do that off of cliffs and stuff. It'd be great
Once
fun.
you're out of the buildings that
Pushing
don't have
people
gravity
off them.
generators and don't have life
Yeah,
support,
the
then
atmosphere
it's
is
whatever
going
the
to be
planet is.
generalized.
Yeah,
for
and
players.
in theory, I don't think this will happen in 3.0, but in theory, you could open the back of the freelancer, and then now suddenly the freelancer's decompressed, and you have all of the air out.
keep in mind there is a difference between atmosphere and gravity.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, completely.
Just because you've got no atmosphere, you might have a super heavy gravity and you might fall like a fucking brick.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or
planet.
you might
planet
have
gravity
no-
will be completely
Yeah.
different.
And planet gravity will be in the same whether you have atmo or not. And your jump will likely be the same whether you have atmo or not, because atmosphere has nothing to do with your jump. Well, a very,
And
very tiny amount.
Technically,
Probably-
if you're
I'm going to have another question. Sorry.
if you're in a building or if you're on a ship, even if you're on a planet that has oxygen, if that ship is fully sealed and runs out of oxygen or whatever, you could still die technically.
yes.
Suffocate in your own ship. You could suffocate
Okay,
in a building.
So here's that I was going to say, because we're talking about atmosphere and oxygen, and we've already seen it in the HUDs and stuff with the oxygen and stuff. So this is my thing: is like I'm going to refer to another game, Hellion. You have the mask that you can lift off when you have atmosphere in the area. Currently in Star
City,
City,
atmosphere.
Like Total Recall.
in Star Citizen, it's going to be the helmet to take off, right? As far as I'm aware.
And
Yeah.
some of the helmets.
It
So-
depends on,
Some of them
depends
will
on
have
the outfit.
visors.
Do we know if the visors? Because I saw on the
Some will.
clips they
Yes,
have the
it
the
varies
gold helmet
depending
look
on
like it flicked up.
helmets that you purchase.
Have
There-
we seen
there
any?
will-
Have we seen any though?
So
That
we
actually
haven't
work?
seen
Yeah,
any
no.
since
No.
the medium marine concept that had the whole like it was fully covered and they would like do
was
this
like
whole
Dead
like
Space.
transform stuff. That we haven't seen it since then, but it's something they still want to plan. They still want to do.
Okay.
Just like in Hellion,
Oh,
where you
cool.
can like lift up some of the visors for some.
Yeah,
of
that's what I was saying,
And-
because it
and-
seems like a simple thing to do rather than taking a helmet. Because we know that you can throw things. I'm thinking you're going to take your helmet off, you're going to put it down, you might wander around, maybe you walk out the door by mistake, forget that you've accidentally forgotten to leave your helmet behind you.
Uh,
Oh my god, my head's
Jaylee.
Jaylee Art happens to mention that visor animations are not coming right now, but they do want to do it.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Yeah,
harder.
yeah.
The best way I can think of trolling people is by running around finding helmets and stealing them.
Yep. And then running away, like throwing it
You
outside.
shoot now,
Go
bitch.
get that motherfucker!
Keep in mind, one of
Literally
the
at the front
stretch
door.
goals, one of the stretch goals, I believe, did include a hazmat suit, which probably has a completely different helmet array than a full helmet, and we still are waiting for that. So.
Listen.
And I think
I
one of
still
the
plan on
achievements-
taking my helmet off and then throwing it at people really hard, and see if I
Yeah.
can knock them out with my helmet.
Now.
Yeah.
But one of
You
the
better be
achievements
able
is
to.
stealing 10 people's helmets.
10 people's
If you not heads.
Just taking your heads, mate.
If you steal 10 people's helmets, then you get a free energy rifle.
Yeah. Just the best part about it is that
One of the achievements.
in
Three
theory,
Big Betty's noodles.
in theory, you could steal people's helmets, take it back to a place, and then sell the helmet for cash. You know,
Yeah.
like that would be the ultimate fuck you. Like, not only did I steal your helmet, so you're trapped in this outpost, but
The
now
guy's
I'm gonna go
like-
make money off your freaking helmet.
The best would be if you can sneak up on someone and
take it
either
off.
shiv them in the back,
Or just pull their helmet off.
Pull their
Yeah.
helmet off.
Yoink.
Do you know what? It depends on how.
I
It depends on
suspect
how
that will
often.
be a kill
Catch me
animation.
now!
Depends on how often we meet actual other people versus NPCs. Because for me, as let's just say, not the nicest of chaps in the PvP world.
You're a wanker in the PU, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're
in
a
general.
wanker.
No, I do tend to like to kill people. But if for example, we don't meet people very often, you are going to be a prize, like a predator. Like as I'm
no,
a
I think
predator,
according
you'll
to
be
this-
a prize. So I want to
you
take your
want
helmet,
prize.
They've
smear
said that
your.
they're going to marry people up in a sense of if you're going to a derelict, they're going to marry a pirate up to try and counter your attempt at stealing that black box by them stopping you from stealing that black box and take that as well. So they're going to marry players with players.
Balance.
Balance.
It's a whole other set of balance. But no, but my point is that if for example, I might necessarily want to fill my ship up with all of the people that I've murdered their helmets or something to do with them. And
There's a
like,
name for people like you.
So
With
this
that
is, we're
name
actually
next to
confirming a little bit of Madness is actually a serial killer. Because he
Serial
actually
killer.
will
Pretty
take
much,
trophies
yes.
from all of his kills and then put them in a shrine. So yeah.
He's a griefer, but doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
pretty much. No, but genuinely, I'm just like, we don't know how often we're going to meet people. Like, it seems like it's going to be a massive world, and there's going to be
10 to
hardly
1.
anyone to meet. 24. Yeah, exactly. So when I
It's-
do find somebody that I know, and someone's screaming at me in chat like a little girl crying because I just murdered them because they're an NPC, I am going to be reveling in it, and I'm not even the worst of the worst because they're way worse people than me. So, yeah, cool.
I'm sure Hitler thought that as well.
Next question comes from a name. Next question comes from Gundam Citizen, who asks,
Predator.
"Can I get a copy of the notes from Little Bit of Madness?"
No worries.
Board
The title starts with bullshit because I was told that's what I need to start with.
Yes, I said we bullshit here. That's pretty
And it
much
should
it.
end in bullshit as well.
Soon
And
is the
ends with
next
a 1v1 me, bro. Cash me outside.
I can't
This
move.
is
For
Predator.
those notes, totally worth it, Madness.
And do you know what the great thing is?
This
The
is
notes are
bullshit.
written on an envelope.
For those of you that haven't watched Bulkheads episode
Classic.
5,
Yes, episode 5 of
John.
Volkheads is
I
out
love
now.
recycling.
Yes. All right.
Bulkheads episode 5 is out now.
Yes, go see it. Next
Yeah,
question
right
comes
now.
from the classiest name of all time. By the way, this is not offensive at all.
Goat
at
fuck.
all.
Not reach
It's
around.
it's
Classier
called
than
give your
Tumble Meat Spin.
it's called give your kids space autism today. Give your
Wow.
kids space autism today, which is very classy. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, I
Who
like it.
asks if you could give the various branches of the UEE military slang names. Example: Chair Force for Air Force. What would they be?
Huh?
Like there's slang for the U.S. military. In the U.S. military, people joke that the Air Force is not the Air Force. They call them the Chair Force. And Marines stands for My Ass Rides on Naval Equipment. Things like that.
Barines, because they spend all their time in a bar.
Barines, I guess so. I don't know.
I'm
I
Delay-
I am trying to
Delay
play along.
reams because they're delayed.
because they're delayed.
SEAL Team Dicks.
I think we'd have to know a lot more about the culture of the military before we'd give them nicknames. So I
Zero Dark Horny.
think, God damn. I think honestly we need to know more about that kind of stuff before that, though. Murder player with a helmet emote? Not yet. I do need a toss.
SEAL
emote.
Team 69. That would be a pretty good
There
one.
we go.
SEAL Team
Only
69.
69, baby.
Look at this, but ATF.
ATF. Yes, I get it.
ATF. Oh.
So next question comes from Exploding Asses, another fantastic name there. Who's actually is screen name.
You get some quality gentlemen on your
Yeah.
show, Paul.
Absolutely,
He
ladies
raises
too.
the bar when he lets the Brits in, you see. It's special ones come in.
Would I be able to have an underwater base?
SAS.
Not
SA.
right, not in 3.0, but possibly.
I'm still thinking of new ones.
Yeah, 3.1
I
water base.
am just registering Squadron 69 when the inevitable Squadron 42 porno comes out.
Yes.
Interracial with Jam.
Next-
Hey,
Who doesn't want to see?
I'm here to fix your retaliator.
I'm here to look at your schlong slider.
Who doesn't want to see Old Man and Oldman?
Yes.
I can hear the
Oh
music now.
God.
Cheesy
Tom-
jazz.
Tom Reckoner asks, "Will there be a way to repair our vehicles without using a cryastro?" Yes. That's called
Yes.
the paw.
Hand repair. There
Actually,
will
do you know
be
what?
hand
This-
repair.
Bugs me the most is that I don't understand. Okay, there's just a little bit of salt here. I do apologize. Just a sprinkle. Just a little sprinkle.
I want to see PJ Salts in chat, guys. Nothing but PJ Salts right now.
A little bit of salt. I don't understand, one, why the person who's public enemy, the person who isn't public enemy, who has 5 reds, cannot see who the public enemy is. I have no idea why that is the case. I have no idea. As 5 red and somebody else is public enemy and being a Care Bear running away from
Bugs
it.
and balance.
I don't know why I don't know who it
What's
is.
that got to do with repairing a ship?
And the next, no, but here's my. I was going to say that's the first little salty bit. But the second bit is as public enemy, and if Care Bears have decided it's a really great idea to switch on all the comm arrays, at the moment, I have to go to Hex, get out of my ship with a massive target all over my face, run to Hex.
I'm an evil man and everybody can find me.
And get
It's not fair for me.
Seriously, why
Leave
can't
it,
I
leave
land
it,
at
leave
Hex
it.
and repair and refuel? Why can't I do exactly what
Because
I do?
there's no repair
Because the
agreement.
game isn't ready yet.
Yeah.
So there's no repair agreement.
Why can I
Not
do
a
this?
repairing station. It's a
Why do I have
Why?
to risk my life for pussies that can't shoot me in a
Because
ship?
eventually you'll be able to
Balance.
repair yourself with the claw. Until
Because we
then,
don't like you.
until then, I'm gonna turn on all of the comm arrays so I can find you and kill you and get that sweet 150.
Because
NGC.
balance. Because it's really easy to show up and shoot someone when they don't expect it, and then guess what? Everyone else is gonna hunt you
Yeah.
because you're a fucking pirate scum.
Wanker
I'm not.
in the
I'm
UK.
not, though.
Wanker.
I'm a really nice person. I sit there at Comaray waiting for people to fight me. I will fight you
And then
happily.
shoot them.
Yeah, and if you
fight
beat me-
I don't want to shoot you. I just want to turn on the comm array because I'm a decent, law-abiding citizen who wants to make sure that these communications arrays are lit so the verse can talk to itself.
I mean, it
And
is
here
really-
you are.
It's not really law abiding there. It's private security. That entire area is private security.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
It's a load of dicks fighting each other.
Corporate tools fighting each other. Yes. Next.
Why do pirates even attack pirate? Why do I want to go to Comaray
you mean?
to switch
What
it off? The
Pirates
pirate
attack
engages me as public enemy.
Because you're
You're a
just you're not a
prick as well.
pirate. You're just a public enemy.
Yeah,
So
but
you're
I'm
an enemy
public
to all the
enemy.
public.
Menace.
What?
You're a
Wait,
public
wait,
enemy.
wait.
In your world,
Even
every
if it's-
pirate
no, but
loves
hang on,
every
hang
other
on.
pirate. Is that
Even-
what?
yeah, but
we're all
even-
Disney
no,
pirates today. We all love each other, really.
Hang on, but even as there's no honor. There's no honor between pirates. Pirates had honor. If I bet you, if I flew a flag as a
You're
pirate,
a
and I went
pirate.
into
A flag.
another
honor.
pirate bay,
Madness.
In
they would
being a
like.
pirate.
There is
Come.
likely
Come.
to be reputation in the future with the different pirate factions, of which there will be fucking loads. Some of which will be player ones. Players, pirate factions, they're all going to hate each other
Yeah.
unless they have alliances for some reason. And all of the NPC ones, they're going to only be friendly with you if they're friendly with you.
And here's the other thing is that they actually do a really good
Why
job.
can't we all be friends?
The lore posts do a good job of explaining the game mechanics in context with the lore, and there's a great booty call segment that which is written by a pirate who is just kind of like it's kind of like a pirate blog post is what he does, and where he explained how some jackass motherfucker is killing all these traders
Madness.
on his route, and now everyone is getting like double guards that they normally would. That makes his job harder because he's being loud as fuck and everyone can see him, and that he's going to find this jackass who's been killing people and then cut him into 15 different pieces because he's making his job harder. Like when nobody's paying attention to you, you take out a freelancer here or Aurora there. The police are going to be like, oh well, this bad's happening. But like, think about it in context of today. You get your car get broken into, you go file a police report, but more than likely, they're not going to catch the guy who did it unless
It's like the game store I worked at got robbed at gunpoint.
Mhm.
And the police didn't give a fuck. They were like, "Oh yeah, we'll look for him." Never gave a shit. But if like a Best
Was he
Buy
quantum?
or-
Was he quantum traveling around?
oh no, he just
So-
walked in.
So
and
do you
was like,
think?
"Bang."
So on that.
But
on
like,
that reality, do you think that in this game, because when I posted my comment, a lot of fucking people were saying, "Oh, don't worry, if you blow us up in ship, there will be an immediate response from the police in this game. Immediate, they will be on
There should
you.
not be.
They will
There should
kill
not
you
be.
straight
It
away." And I'm like,
depends. It
No.
depends.
Relative. It's relative to what's around
if you went to
around me,
Terra-
they're like at least 10 minutes away, and that's if they know that nobody's actually having a fight.
Yeah.
The minute
If you're-
that they
if
know
you
that no one's
blow
having a
up-
fight, then they'll be there.
if you blow up my Aurora, then who gives a shit? It's one person in Aurora. If you blow up me and my
emotion.
Endeavor filled with 20 people and life-saving medicines, destined for this planet, then
Nice.
probably
But
get
LBM's not going to be fighting you in an area that is super security. Like,
No,
it's not gonna
and-
go,
yeah.
I'm turning up to Earth to fight you.
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing. Is it depends on where
right
you
now
are.
we only have one area.
If you're a dumbass and you're fighting right in front of
if I did that.
a security station, you're like, la 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 la, I'm gonna go attack this guy in front of a security station. It's like doing drugs in front of a cop's.
I would only
But you'll
do
still
it
get
if
the
I
killing,
knew-
though. You could
I
still
would
get
do
the
it
killing.
only.
Yeah,
I would only
you just
do it
get
if
arrested.
I knew. Yeah, I'd only do it if.
But you're not likely to do it again and again and again and again and again
Yeah.
because
Unless you make lots of
the
vaults.
Unless you
pain
make
of
lots of
having
money.
to go through that whole. Well, even the money.
Yeah, but you're assuming that the police in this game will be amazing,
They
It would vary.
and they might be. Cryastro. Let's be honest.
Place.
Cryastro security is amazing.
What
They're
you
ranking
will get is you'll
very
get
quick.
people like that are criminals once or twice. They will be then locked out of other systems and they'll be secured at the jump points. So you'll come into a system and you'll be almost instantly killed. So those areas are safe for people.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you can take on the majority of people, Madness, but when the majority of people come together as one and fight you, you're going to find
Don't cry
it's going
about
to be
it.
difficult.
Yeah.
and
At some
you-
point, you're
but-
going to piss off the wrong person. Like you decide you're going to raid this
I
freelancer, and it's filled with material. Maybe it's a player, maybe it's not.
it's
Maybe,
filled with a nuke, and you shoot that nuke.
Yeah.
but that
Yeah.
that you happen to raid like the
that's not
mafia
how nukes
boss's
work.
fucking
Eventually, you'll
freelancer,
be like,
and
I
someone's gonna want to hit
accidentally
on you.
kill a relay ship, and everyone's like, but man, relay are the free media. You can't touch them. And then
It's-
everyone bands together
it's
because
numbers.
that's how I believe that the
It's very
universe is going to
important.
work. Because
Keep going, Harris. Keep
puppies
going.
and kitties and hope. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like,
Puppies
if I
and
meet
hope.
that one,
Puppies
if I
and
meet that, if I meet that
don't
one
kill-
person, if I meet that one person or two people that kill me, at the end of the day, if I've met
one
30
person or two
people,
people in
if
the
I've beat
system.
30 people that I've killed, and I only meet one or two people that kill me, the numbers are in my favor at the end of the
You're
day.
still dead.
but it's at the
Yeah,
end
but it
of the
doesn't matter.
day,
Yeah,
it's-
but I'm only
what
dead
you're
for
doing,
like what
what you're
repair an
doing,
arm.
LBM, is very
I don't know.
important to the game. It takes a mixture of skill, but also you have to choose your engagements and where to engage and do research. And you are providing gameplay for other people, and that will be balanced. So
Fear.
that you can't do it in a dickbag way. That you can't fight people in a soul system, or if you do, you can only do it once or twice before effectively you have to leave that area permanently or
It
semi-permanently.
is the balance of being a pirate and being a griefer. If
Yeah.
you're a griefer, if you just kill for the sake of griefing, then you will find higher punishments for that sake.
Well. If you do
Really?
that totally in game and in engine, that's what you want to do. That's still not grief.
if it's allowed, it's not going to
Exploits,
Yeah.
exploits,
No, but-
and
yeah.
emotional response.
Let me
That's grief.
let me put it this
If
way.
you're targeting an individual and ruining the game for them, then
for
you're
an emotional response.
Yeah.
That's
If,
that's
if you
grief.
sit, if
And
you
you should be
sit where
banned.
someone's gonna spawn and kill them over and over and over, then you're a fucking griefer. If
Yeah.
you sit around, not Terra or Earth or something, but some other planet, where there's
But
a
that's not,
very,
you're not going to mechanically be able to do that, though.
No.
but yeah, you
Can at the moment.
Hope you can at the moment, right? But like in the game, if you sit around Earth and you try and do that, you'll probably be blown to shit. If you sit around some backwards planet and keep killing someone because they keep spawning there, well, guess what? They could spawn there and not leave dock and just go to another fucking planet. They could take a ship to another planet. They don't have to come out and
Yeah.
if there's no police system in place to stop you, then you are completely in your own right to do whatever the fuck you want,
Oh,
because
yeah,
that's the
definitely.
entire fucking point of lawless space.
Mhm.
It's doing what you want. Now, if you somehow manage to circumvent the police because the game isn't working correctly and they don't trigger that because you come at me and try and ram me and I shoot at you, so I shoot you before you shoot me, so I am the aggressor, so I get killed, that's griefing, that's breaking some kind, who knows,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's more
But
theoretical.
that's theoretical. But like if you're sitting outside of an outpost that doesn't care that you're killing people, then no one cares if you're
Well,
killing people.
I would say that probably, even on the outlaw areas, anywhere there's probably a respawn location will have some form of defense because they're
And it
settlements. They're like
Yeah.
they're not going to be like we like killing. Yarr.
Yeah, and
The other
I don't see the game really allowing the kind of griefing that is allowed right now, because right now the game just isn't there yet.
But what about in FPS if you've got like multiple alts that can log in and do it if they're not all under the police thing?
well,
pay
But
for
how
it.
they
You pay
can
for
how
that.
are they going to stop?
eventually
like,
you eventually
running?
get captured. Here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's the thing, though. being a
Yeah, but
pirate is not
that's all right.
breathing.
But your character's died multiple times. It's like, oh, you'll eventually get captured, yeah, but I've just died because this bloke's got 3 accounts and
then you
loads of
report.
ults
Then
and
you
loves them
report.
all.
Then you report all the ults, and you're never going to have a perfect system where
Still
I can.
dead, though.
I can.
But how does he
I can
find you?
Well, you know,
psychically.
you go British. You get a pickets thing, and you put a little thing, and you stand outside.
How does he find you?
42, and you
So
go,
you spawn at
"I
Terra,
want
right? You spawn at Terra. What does he come and kill you at Terra?
Well, if they're going to allow PvP and knife kills everywhere, then yeah.
Yeah. So you spawn and you're like, okay, I'm going to beeline to the train station, take a train to Earth, and guess what? He's not there anymore.
You'd be in the medical
Like,
bay
it's-
when he's
it would be-
died and come back.
But it's different. It's not like a standard game where in Battlefield or in Call of Duty, you'll spawn in one of like a few different areas, and that's always where
See
you
a guy with a
fucking
knife
spawn.
out as well, running around
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the same fucking thing. Because guess what? The guy with the knife out in Terra is gonna get shot the fuck by the police, or I'll just take a civilian transport to any other fucking planet, and guess what? He's gone. Unless he decides to use the game and track me by hacking stuff
I
and
think,
finding
I
my.
think the worry from Miz was that they just walk up to you and press the takedown button.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes, that would
Pretty
be
much.
bad. That would be bad.
But that's what
But-
I'm on about. It's like the takedown button,
That's
and
what
if
Miz
you
is
come out of a
saying.
medical centre and they're
That's what Miz
there,
is
it'll take
But do you
down.
think? But do you think they've talked years ago about different stances and how if someone near you is in a combat stance, if someone has a knife out or a weapon out,
Creepy stance.
well, yeah.
Crane
Like,
stance.
Crouching tiger.
Seriously, because they were talking about how third-person view doesn't work and how they only want
Come at me,
combat to
bro.
be done.
Come at me.
They only want combat done in first person, right? They don't want any FPS combat done in third person.
Marcus
They
of
don't want
Queens
you looking
rules.
around
There we go.
the walls. So
That's a good point, actually. Not, yeah. That's
if
actually
you
a good
can't,
point.
if you don't, like, if you take out your weapon, then there should be something in the area where everyone kind of goes into first person and is kind of informed that someone around here is sketchy, and it's not quite balanced, but it's what they can do, right? So you won't,
Sketchy alert.
you
The
won't
easy-
really, you won't
easiest
really
thing
be
is
able to
to
walk
stop
up to someone
Just
in
stop it.
person and just stab them because you're not going to have your knife out. You're not going to be ready. Like there's a step between.
What do you think it's going to
walking
take a
around
while to
fine.
go
There's a
from?
step between
Just
this-
disable it. Just
How
disable
long
it.
do you think it's
this.
going to take to go from knife not out in stance to knife out stance and then take
Okay,
down?
there's
That's-
a step between this and
How quick?
I think it's honestly just disable knives on stations and you'd be. And then we-
And knife.
Yeah.
Why, I would be a little bit quicker than that.
But, all right,
you haven't played the
Wank
game,
So
Eric.
the other thing is that there will be places more like places like Terra or Olisar. Guess what? You give up your weapons. You ain't getting
Yeah.
your weapons until you leave the station. Like you won't even physically be able to carry
What
your
about my
weapons.
secret knife?
punch them.
Man,
Be
why
like,
are you
choke 'em.
why
Right in
board
the
is
neck, choke 'em out.
is stuffing a knife up to places where they won't where inspectors don't check. It's gonna be a bit before you're gonna be able to squeeze that out, pull that
We're
knife
Brits.
out, and then stab
We just
somebody.
get a bottle and smash it and use that as a knife. You don't need to take a knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
We're
stop.
British, man. Headbutt.
If you are
That's
ever stopped by
smuggling
security anywhere that wants to search you, like at an airport, whatever, just be like, yeah. Be really into it and try and make eye contact because they stop really quickly.
Open it up.
Go through.
If I'm
Just-
ever in
just-
an airport
just
with you
reach in
four,
there.
I'm going to be
Reach
looking
down
out
there
for
and
you.
grab hold.
I tell you what, that was the weirdest thing in America. I was in where was I? I was going from New York to Boston. I just come from Converse, and I was coming down to New York to do this thing. And the guy was literally. He was like, "Excuse me, sir." For whatever reason, I had obviously failed some drug thing. I don't know why. I had no idea why.
Prize the prize.
No idea
in
why.
your mouth, but
And I mean, I met a few friends. It was fine. Night before. Anyway, and he was scanning things, whatever. And then he was like, "Excuse me, sir, I'm about to touch your buttocks." And it's the first time anybody
Just relax.
outside of something that I paid for.
that's
has
got
actually said
nothing to
refer
do with security.
They're going to
Just
refer.
like
I
you.
was like,
Just
Man,
accept it
I
and
went-
relax.
I went
I
through
was
some
like,
Canadian airport
whoa.
security this week, and they were like, "Yeah, go ahead."
We need
Really?
to go. Canada
they
needs to hold
they
the
actually
next
said
citizens'
to me
command.
where they were going to touch me. I was like, Am I paying for it?
Can you point on this doll where I'm going to?
All right, so that,
So did
You
you
are
that question.
in America. You are free to be felt up by someone in more authority than you.
Yeah.
That is your freedom.
of the same
So it's
sex though?
So if I disagreed with, I said to him, "But hang on a minute, you know what? My buttocks are off the table, buddy."
They would have strip searched you.
They would have had to strip. They would have
Yes.
actually take me through and strip search me.
Yeah, they would have
and
strip
then
searched
they
you.
would have felt my buttocks naked.
Freedom.
Shit, I should have said that, shouldn't I?
You just
Yes.
got to
Yes.
enjoy the shit while it happens. And make
Next
note.
time. Next time, that's the dream.
All right. So, by the way, this entire thing we talked about came from a question: will there be a way to repair vehicles without visiting a crime accident? Just saying that.
Now you know why. Like we're like.
All right. So, Citizen Nomad asks, how effective are the size 4 missiles right now? Kind of effective.
Very.
Size 4,
Depends what you do with them.
It depends on the type of missiles. If it's
Size
CS
6
versus
and above.
I've been
Very
unable to hide one up my ass.
And, okay,
Don't try and smuggle
But he has
Right.
ignore
tried.
these people that
He
don't
has
play the
tried.
game.
I play it.
Okay,
4 is
size
effective.
6.
Hey, that
you
is
want to have
just
cross.
me. That is just me.
Yeah, I've seen these two fly and they're terrible.
Missiles don't
you-
work.
Look, okay, missiles are a little broken depending on what you get, but seriously, I mean, Rattlers. The reason why Rattlers are so good is that they split up into size 2 missiles. All
No,
8
they're
of them,
size
whatever.
1, less than size
No,
1.
but no. They split. They hit like a size 2, and the damage on them, and that's the problem with them. That's why when you get they hit you really close. It's like you're literally getting hit by like 8 size 2 missiles. It's crazy, the DPS on them. But the way you can actually avoid them, if you roll through them, you can, because as a missile explodes, it explodes in a radial kind of pattern. So if you roll through it, you can actually shake off a lot of the damage. But what I'm going to say is that size 4 missiles aren't really that much of a threat unless you're in a Buccaneer. Size 3 missile, it really depends
Size
on the type of
4s
missile.
do a good job against cutlasses and
They do.
and constellations
It's
because they're
what,
slower.
if it's an IR missile, if it's an EM missile, they're generally pretty avoidable with the flares and the obviously
because they're
chase.
slow.
I will say that's why I'm waiting for the
Cross-section.
freelancer miss, because then I'll just have 500 and I don't give a fuck what you're in.
Don't
I'm
care
just
what
gonna
size
shoot
they
100
are.
of them.
Just
Yeah,
absolutely.
just launch.
Oh, the missile spam. How
Yeah,
how much fun
how much
will you
fun!
have?
Yay, Mr.
I will
Fans.
love it.
Great talent.
It'll be
yeah, but,
I'm amazing. I am amazing at this game.
but,
Who gives a
but
fuck
they're-
about
but they're-
talent if you're dead? you can go, oh, you've got no talent. Yeah, I don't care. I've killed
There
you.
are
You're
ways.
dead. I don't give a fuck.
Ignoring like there are ways to avoid missiles, especially IR and EM. Okay, and
Maybe
then
you
once
should
stealth-
divulge your secret little bit of BM. Maybe. Oh,
maybe you should
maybe
do this
later,
on a
maybe later.
video.
But
or
no,
something.
but there are no. But the thing is that I can. Well, we spent 2 weeks, me and a friend and a few of us. We've all tested how to avoid. Basically, the real problem was size 9 torpedoes. Okay, so we spent 2 to 3 weeks. I was part of the UINS at the time, and we won't ignore the reasons why that happened. But anyway, and we spent 2 weeks testing, theory testing, crafting, and figuring out a way. And we actually ended up accidentally stumbling across a way to avoid almost all IR
It's as if they
and
stopped
EM
detecting you.
missiles.
It's weird.
Okay? Isn't it
Weird,
funny?
isn't it?
Isn't it funny? And we found out a way to do it. And now I'm just going to give you a little kind of roundabout way. Let's
A
just
little bit of
say
madness.
that when stealth and all the other item 2.0 comes out, it's going to be really interesting to see when we get a hold of it. Me and my friends, the few of us that board says I have none, but I have a few. We get hold of it.
Right hand and
you
his
have
left hand.
And to find out exactly how effective it is, because the reality is all those people that were loving their torpedoes and their size 9s have actually driven us to figure out more ways to. It's the great thing. This is the one thing I love about Star Citizen is the skill base, because the skill base forces us as PvPers. When you have, for example, the tally size 9, people come in with their tallies and they lock on with their size 9s and they launch a torpedo knowing that they're going to get a kill. It fucking pisses us off because there's
That's
no
why you
talent.
want to balance for the best.
So
That's why
we
you
learn
want
how
want
to
this kind of
defeat
gameplay.
you. And you've actually resulted in us figuring out a way to defeat almost all missiles.
For now,
You're
in
currently
For
alpha.
now.
Now,
For now.
for now, madness.
Your current
For
way
now,
of doing it, LBN,
and
is
for now,
is
very-
a bug, though.
But
Your
it-
current
but
way of
you-
doing it
Yeah.
is a
Yeah,
bug.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, Well,
wait until the balance
when the
comes
stealth
in,
state and
you'll
all the
find
systems work as intended, then you
Yeah.
and you can't switch off engines.
But the thing is that will always be there, Board. I think you are probably in
Yeah,
agreement.
yeah.
The reality is there will always be people that this is what I love about this game is the fact that it's skill based. So it means that when something rises above something else, we go away or they go away and figure out a countermeasure for that. And that's what I love.
You will
This
be
is
able to turn off all your
fighting.
ship systems.
Mm-hmm.
But once item system 2.0 comes in a bit more, there will be a delay on turning them back on.
Yeah, you'll have to go through and cycle the systems manually. You won't just be able to hit a button and turn everything off.
I'm not. I just
What about
Board.
flight mode?
that is
Talk to me
guaranteed.
privately if anyone wants to know. And
Alrighty, let's move on from this
Yeah.
because
I've already told you I won't make a video on it. It's all good.
Yes.
We talked about
about it.
Wardaka asks, are they going to have vehicle degradation like components degrade and need replacing?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've talked about that for years.
You have
Yes.
to replace. I don't necessarily think that things are going to be completely worn down to the point where they no longer function. It's just going to be more and more expensive to repair them over time. To the
Well,
point
so
where you have to
when
replace
you're flying in quantum drive, a component might break and you might need
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And
Well, in
there will
quantum,
be
whatever.
efficiency of components too, because as your component degrades, it will be less efficient. Because every single component will have its own metrics for efficiency and speed and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So,
Item 2.0.
Yep.
woo.
Yep.
Fist of Jesus asks, y'all need more Jesus. I do love Jesus.
No.
He makes
Jesus.
fantastic. He makes fantastic tacos. All right, do not hate on Jesus' tacos. I do need some more Jesus in my life. Just saying.
Jesus up here makes pizza.
I need those sunglasses, Paul. Those sunglasses.
Jesus,
Are they
I know,
awesome?
delivers
They are fucking cool, man.
bags and,
They make
suitcases.
detoxes shades are kind of like inferior to those things. They are badass.
Next question comes from
Sorry.
Headclot, who asks, "What are y'all having for dinner tonight?" I'm having leftovers.
Fuck. What's dinner? Shit. I should
You already
It's-
had
we-
dinner.
We've already eaten.
Yeah,
It's
I
it's
haven't
2:00. Yeah.
I haven't actually eaten today yet.
yeah. We've got to finish this up then.
I've had 3 beer. That's it.
You have the frame of someone that doesn't eat that much. You're not a tubby YouTuber like yourself.
Dude.
I'm
gonna have
getting tubby.
I'm gonna have some more food in a minute.
Bestiality is okay. Asks, No Man's Sky gave me procedurally generated AIDS, not AIDS,
Yes.
but like aid with an
Aid.
apostrophe S. Yeah,
That's good.
Plural.
I'm glad that it helped you.
yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but
Also, I
I
have
like
AIDS.
No Man's Sky. I
Edison.
liked it. Overpriced, but good.
Yeah, I think it was overpriced initially. I think it's
Good.
good price now.
Would've
Isn't it?
been-
It's like $20.
Would have been
Well,
amazing at 20,
current-
30 bucks.
Are we
Yes.
still talking about AIDS right now?
No,
Yes.
No Man's
Yes.
Sky.
20 bucks.
No Man's
Right.
Sky.
It's
Thirty bucks, man.
Great indie game, fantastic
I
achievement
thought I
for
was
what
pissed,
they
but we're
did.
talking about AIDS.
Yes.
So,
AIDS
That's
is
some
great
bullshit.
value.
$20
No Man's
rates.
Sky
Culture
is
down.
receiving updates at the moment, and in fact, there's
Yeah.
an ARG on
The
their
updates are good.
Yeah.
It's
their
receiving
stream currently.
medication.
They,
for that.
they will hopefully this year become a game.
Well, I think they already are a game, personally.
They
Yeah,
have
it's
more.
fine
They have
about
more
a lot of
content
stuff.
than Star Citizen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
And they got
Citizen-
procedural
Not more
However-
multiplayer content.
And you can
however,
land on
Star Citizen's an alpha. No Man's Sky
Is released. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question
Good old
comes
Sony.
from Edison Trent 7112. Eris is someone. How will you hire to be one of your commanding officers? Just drill your capital crews. I know that I will get
How will
him
you?
for.
Can we skip to a question in English?
Yeah, we're doing.
Doesn't say-
I'm sorry,
I kind
Hunter.
of got what he was saying, though. He was saying that if you
I-
hire somebody, how
I
will
think-
you hire a commanding officer? You
I
won't.
fucking
You just get your
won't.
mate, right?
Yeah.
You are the
won't.
commanding officer.
Aaron's already the editor in chief, so he's going to be the ding ding.
Dude,
Of the
I don't
fucking
fucking hire commanding
King
officers.
King.
I
The
am
King
the
But he's
King.
not
fucking
played the
commanding
game
officer.
yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hunter 2
I'm gonna play
asks.
Dude, Andy, he's telling people.
Hunter 2 asks, never submit passwords through Google Forms. That's not a question. That's a statement. Sorry.
It is
Thank
an
you.
accurate statement. It is a
It's
good
true.
statement. You shouldn't do it, kids.
Weird Pony Guy. Weird Pony Guy
Your
asks.
RSA account, please. I'll take all your ships.
Weird Pony Guy asks, will there be an Avenger rework soon? We really need it. I don't think we'll see an Avenger rework. I think what we'll see is a
Why does it
Stop
need a rework?
reworking shit.
Yeah, it's
Jesus
what we'll see.
Christ.
The thing
What's
is
wrong
that
with it?
what we'll see with the Avenger
Oh,
is
the
that it'll
glasses have come off.
the actual
It's got serious.
Professor Shelley. Like I wear glasses when
Wait a minute.
when I normally just because
Yeah, we saw.
I'm with board on this one. But all ships are getting a rework. We're all getting item
No.
2.0, which means
The-
all
the-
the HUDs are changing.
which is
The Aurora is not getting a rework. The Aurora rework is done. The Cutlass is probably done. The Hornet will probably be done soon. There's a few that won't be getting a rework again for 3 years or something.
Yeah.
There's also a lot. Freelancers up for a rework. Connie is up for a little bit of a rework. The Tally is
Mustang.
up for Tally's up
Mustang
for a
needs
rework.
one.
The Mustang is up
needs a
for a
rework.
rework. The Gladius is up for a rework.
Gladius!
Oh, we
What
were-
the fuck's a Gladius?
can I ask the one?
Eris!
The Gladius.
Sort
he's
your
a-
shit out, sir.
You know what?
Gladius. Welcome, laddies.
don't-
The
they don't
Gladius
do
is
any-
up for a little bit of a rework, and so's the 300
The reason people give you shit by saying Gladius rather than Gladius or whatever is
Yeah.
because if you keep on saying it,
wrong.
CIG will try and make everyone happy and say Shan, Jian, Jun.
Oh, it's
Jun,
Xian.
and,
It's
and
Xian.
say, and say it's all correct, like
Yeah.
they did last time.
Actually, no, they've already said that.
They said it's
Can I ask-
got
Gladius.
two.
They have already said in lore that almost
Formula
any
and
every they've already said that almost every pronunciation is right. We've actually been talking a lot in bulkheads about the correct
Jan
pronunciation.
and
the
Jan
correct-
is
what
right
is-
either way.
What is the correct pronunciation of Aegis? Is it Aegis or Aegis or
Idris.
Aegis or
Idris.
Aegis?
Idris.
Iggy's.
Idris.
If anything you want, that's what they're saying. Anything you
Exactly.
want.
That is what they're saying. They're
It's-
saying
it's
it's
whatever
whatever
the design-
pronunciation you want. I mean, look at Ketchup.
We can't be
ketchup,
asked to get it
or
right.
ketchup,
so you call it what you
or
want.
Britain, or
Can I? Yeah.
All right,
Can I?
so back
Right.
bringing this.
I
I'm
wanna
gonna bring
ask-
this. I'm gonna bring this back
Can
to
I-
the original question real quickly. Sorry about that because we are way over time and I want to keep
Sorry.
this going. So, will there be Avenger rework? I think a lot of the stuff we're gonna see is item 2.0. Item 2.0
Yep.
is what we're gonna see is gonna change a lot of that. So the Avenger doesn't
They said
necessarily rework.
they said every ship is getting reworked because of item 2.0.
But that's
At
the
least the
reason why.
component side
So-
of things. Yeah.
So as a result, we're not going to see. I don't think we'll see a significant change because it's just going to get like the components will change things around. The reason why people want reworks is because the weapons don't work properly or this to that. That will get changed as a item port system, not as a full like ship redone. Sorry, go ahead, Mattis.
No, I was just going to say that when something gets reworked at the moment, they increase the price of the ship.
They do.
So the Cutlass is going to go up in price. Let's look at the Cutlass, okay? The Cutlass is bigger. It can hold more shit. It looks more badass. It's now got a slave turret, as far as I'm aware. It's going to be much more of a threat. It's going to cost more money. It looks more desirable, blah, 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 blah. They're going to charge you a lot more money for that ship. I wouldn't be surprised if
They will
blew
punch
down
above its
$200
weight class.
$200. Yeah, exactly. It's going to punch above its weight class. But then I say the Aurora, for example, okay, it's had a rework. Now, this is a starter ship. Okay, so this has already got an entry point of what I would consider most standard games are, what, $42? So most games are around about £30, 30. I mean, I'm thinking British pounds here, sorry guys, but say what's that? And yeah, what do you pay on me for a US games?
US is $60.
$60. Okay,
Which is
so
like
it's not-
£45.
No, it's different
Yeah.
now. It's changed.
$60 for a PC game in
Yep,
the US.
for a PC games in the US, really?
For a AAA title
Let's say-
PC,
okay.
you're seeing $60.
Let's say $50. Let's
$80
just say
bucks.
split the difference.
$80
Split the
Canadian.
difference.
Canadian.
$79.99.
Yeah, you're weird Canadian dollars though.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't pay tax like we do.
They
Yeah,
do.
we do. Fuck you, we do.
Yeah, they do.
I pay 13% tax on everything, bitch.
Yeah, Canada has a bunch of
No.
social programs
Yeah.
because they're
13%.
We pay, what do we pay?
Oh.
20%?
20.
yeah.
Yeah, so just get down with yourself, bitch.
Don't think I don't pay.
Listen.
That's all.
I'm just
But-
sitting
but
here
beside the
paying
point- my point is-
5%
my
tax.
point-
You
but my
socialist
point
fuckers.
my point is that they increased the price, and I know they've said that therefore that things will go up in value, but this is starter ships we're talking about.
No,
This is-
because
this
they
is
haven't
entry level.
increased the size of the Aurora. They just reworked the layout
Yeah.
on the inside.
So will
They're
they
not going to go up in
increase the
price for
price?
that.
Will
No,
they
because
increase
it's
the price?
no, because it's
No.
not getting.
All
You
It's
don't
not
think so?
changing the ship.
Are now.
I was asking you guys that question.
component-based.
That was the question.
No, they won't.
That's
That was a long-winded way about just saying, will they change?
Well, I
the
got
price of the
interrupted by
Aurora?
tax bitch down below me, so I wasn't sure about it.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy down there, 13% flats.
What are you talking about?
All right,
Come towards me when you
next
get 20.
question comes from Edison Trent. Question: do you want a real smuggler ship like a stealth with cargo? No. And here's the reason. Because if someone says, "Oh, this is the smuggler ship," then everyone's going to be looking for the fucking smuggler ship to be smuggling shit. Like
the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of like why they stopped saying that the Cutlass was a pirate ship.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like they kind of want to get people off the vein of Cutlass is automatically pirates. Because otherwise, the Cutlass is automatically for pirates. No, the Cutlass is a viable ship for all sorts of things that just also happens to be used by pirates because it's such a good ship. But it's not a pirate ship.
You know what's the most annoying pirate ship in the verse right now? It's a freaking Gladius. Gladiuses and 350Rs flown by NPCs are some of the most annoying fucking ships to have to fight in the PU. Because
Look
they
at LBM's face. Look at LBM's face. For
What?
That statement.
What? Have you? I mean, have you played in the PU against NPCs, Mr. Psychopath? That's the question.
Mr. PvP only.
Yeah.
I play in the
Mr. I
PU
can
all
kill
the time.
anyone except a computer.
Yeah.
I play in the PU, and I know for a fact that the NPCs, if you meet more than one NPC, especially if you're doing the ICC mission at the beginning, and you suddenly go in and there's a dick in the fucking constellation, and he spawned five fucking Gladiuses in front of you, and you go, fuck, why did you have to be in front of me? Yes, I know, but the reality is because they've got aimbots, and they're a nightmare.
But it's not. It's more than they're actually hitting you. It's that they're really good at. They also are really fast and maneuverable.
I mean, okay. Here's the way I test. You know, the NPCs are fake. Is when you take the wings off a Gladius, and the NPC can still hit you with its fucking railgun. Okay, so if any normal person was flying a Gladius with no wings, you would be going, spinning wildly out of control and unable to hit anything. The computer is fucking cheating.
I think that people actually have this wrong. You don't smuggle on a ship. You smuggle on your person. You get all of the illicit goods that you want on your person, and then you take public transportation to wherever you want to go.
Yeah, you
Will you smuggle that illegal engine? I want to know where you
In 1.2 with Vandal Swarm, there used to be a way that you could basically never get shot by Vandal by occasionally turning and firing and then turning back, because it assumed you were firing at the guy that was following you or the other Vandal, so they'd stop attacking you and try and avoid you for a second. So you just occasionally just go.
Keep in mind, we still don't have subsumption in.
Yeah.
Subsumption AI hasn't come in, and that might change all of the AI that we know.
Unless you can create true artificial motherfucking intelligence, people will figure out how
they'll game the
this
system.
shit works.
Yeah.
They will. It's the reality. I had somebody talking shit in my fucking PvE post in Spectrum, telling me about AI and fucking.
Turned out he was a robot.
And I was like, come on, seriously.
I mean, yeah, people have gamed every single game ever. People have gamed every single game. Period. Well, I mean, that's the point, right? But that's the point of playing. Like, some people find it, I just want to beat the game, and some people want to beat the game, and there is a difference.
This next question is just for madness.
Sorry, just before you say it, I was just going to say, by the way, has anyone fought a real pilot in a Saber versus the NPC? Because the NPC in a Saber is the shittest fucking pilot I've ever seen flying a Saber.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
fly sabers traditionally, though, unless they're very skilled, will get wrecked.
Yeah,
like
it's really hard.
And notice
be a good pilot.
Notice there's no pirate in a fucking Super Hornet, by the way. Just thought I'd throw it out.
Well, they used to have pirate hornets in the PU, but they were too good.
You couldn't kill them.
You couldn't kill them.
I bet you could kill them
because they were invincible.
Yeah, and they were the fucking favorite child of Chris Roberts. It's ridiculous. Sorry.
This next question is for you, Madness. It's from Epic Zach, who asks.
Oh, Zach, what's up, baby?
He asks, "Did you get good with the saber?"
One of my friends buy it. Board even.
You're one.
My one friend. He's my sensei.
And his question is
the hardest ship to fly.
It's okay, I have none.
I'm not as good as I want to be in the Saber. I'm better in the Gladius still, but I think a couple more weeks of practice. So if I stop playing Pug.
When are we gonna? When are we gonna get you to like leave the Aegis peasants and join the Buccaneer Master Race? You know.
I think. Do you know what? Actually, do you know what, Paul? You do raise a like. If anybody here, if you play the PU and then you play Arena Commander, so you go into free flight, there's a big difference. And the Buccaneer is incredibly good for the first few minutes of a fight.
Blowing up.
But the minute that the pilot has lost his fuel,
the minute that he shoots you, you're dead.
He's fucked.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, no. The minute that he loses his fuel, he's fucked, because it's all about maneuverability with it.
There's still a zone of no shield, isn't there, on the Buccaneer?
Well, the nose is the biggest threat. It's got a big nose, which I think, if you notice the Buccaneer, it does look like it was originally designed to hold 2 pilots, because that nose is humongous.
Can I actually ask a question? Because it's actually not off.
No, Eris. No. You can't. Go on.
He's just fucking with you.
No, it's actually not often that I'm like. Most of the people at Relay, we don't really play the game as much as we follow it and.
So Relay don't play the game at all, then, basically.
No, we do. We
Confirmed.
do.
I mean, we'll try that out.
We are not.
Board gamer. We actually play the game.
It's okay. We
If you
actually
want to
know
know
about it.
actually anything about the game,
It's okay. We know about it. But no.
Don't talk to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
No, I'm actually wondering, like, and it's a change that happened a long time ago, but due to scheduling, we never actually had a chance to do a table about it. But how do you think about
it?
Well, about it. We didn't actually get to do a change about it, eh? Like, how did the slowdown affect you? Like,
okay, so the slowdown initially, because I know again, a lot of my friends really loved 2.5 and 2.0.
Yeah.
They hated it. 2.6 they loathed initially because the speed was too slow. They were just not used to it. I think the reality was they slowed it down too much. And then what happened is then when we went to 2.6.1, they sped it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it made everybody that was really used to the slightly more fast mechanics a lot more happy. But the reality was, in a way, they kind of clever CRG because they brought it really slow, so everybody was really horrible. And then they brought it back again, and everyone was like, "Yay!" But actually, it was considerably still slower than what they had before. Like, people still bitch about it.
Do you like where it is? Do you like where it's at now? Or?
I think where it is right now is actually quite good. But then that's for the PU. We have huge amounts of desync. The frames are still not hitting 60 frames. If you go into Arena Commander and you take your, just do it. Just take a Buccaneer, and take a Saber and a Super Hornet, or take a Gladius, and get shot.
Just take one of your other many ships that you have in your hangar.
Whatever you have.
Any of your super fancy, super expensive ships,
or a Mustang. You will die very, very quickly to somebody that's running either ballistics or generally a PP. The speed of which you die in the Arena Commander versus the PU, unless depending on how you fly. Okay, again, I could go on for fucking ages on this shit. But in Arena Commander, you die very, very quickly compared to the PU. They need to make the ships a bit hardier for the PU, but the reality is at the moment you don't get the same experience, unfortunately, between the two. That's why you have Arena Commander players and versus PU players. But once the PU increases in frames and everything's greater, you will get more of that experience, and they need to make the ships stronger. The ships die too quickly at the moment. So in terms of speed, I think it's good. I think it's increased. It's more skill based. It's actually helped some of the slower firing guns like the mass drivers, like the ballistic rifles, ballistic tarantulas, and all these kind of guns, which are fire, stop, fire, stop, fire, stop, rather than the pew 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 laser fighters. So I think that's what it's helped. So ballistics has become a bit more into its own. But in PU, I mean, okay, I'm going to go into a slightly different topic, but for me personally, I think that lasers should eventually overheat and need to be replaced.
Yeah.
I don't think lasers should be forever. I think that if you are a bad pilot and you're overheating your lasers all the time, they should damage quicker, and you should have to go and repair them over 4 times, for example, a normal ballistic situation.
All right.
They should be forever. Anyway, that's I could talk about this shit forever.
Let's move on. Space Doge asks, any of you plan on stealing a ground vehicle from someone and storing it in your ship for further use? Possibly.
Yeah, why not?
Just to see if it works.
It will work. That's the idea
Yeah,
of
yeah.
legal and physical ownership.
Something talks.
Major Pain 911 asks, what does Madness think about the new Gladius cockpit?
Major Pain, you fucking troll. I think it's a fucking diabolical
He loves
decision. Why the hell would you look seriously? Right, this is my salt moment. So 5 seconds. Why would you? Who looks at their phone like this? No one does. So why tilt the screens on a fucking Gladius in this direction? Nobody fucking does. You look at the screen like this. Don't look at a fucking screen like this. Next thing, why the hell radar in the middle?
I gotta
Why would
say,
you-
I
why
look
would you
at my
get rid of
screen
the
like
middle?
this.
Are you?
I
You're
look at my screen on an angle, man.
yeah, but look at you wearing a bow tie. I mean, that explains everything.
Yeah, I'm classy as fuck.
I look like
But
this.
no, seriously, do you read your text messages on a phone at
this.
an angle?
Like
Yeah.
this.
You don't
On
read them
angle?
like up at an angle like that.
No, because then that gets fucking glare, man.
Yeah.
You read them
I
at a
read
tilt
it. Yes.
at that angle.
Yes.
I don't read them like this for
You
sure.
don't read them like that. Like
Well,
looking. But what's your angle?
my
What's your
text message? No,
I
it's
always
at an
read
angle,
my
man.
text messages like that.
Yeah, but
There's-
seriously,
Who
yeah.
doesn't? I mean,
Is that pre-selfie mode? Just
that
in
is
case-
the only
I'm
way
curious.
that you
Who
can
fucking looks
possibly
at their
read
phone?
your
Who looks
text
at their phone like that angle?
This is the angle I read my text set. This
Seriously.
100%.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm gonna
God.
send you a text message. What's your number?
613.
No, I'm only joking. But no, that's my thing. But the main, you know, what the real bug thing with me is like, why would you move the middle HUD, which was the radar, and replace it with a gun animation that's going to be threatening? Say, for example, epileptic fit, glare. You've already got enough glare on this. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, maybe? You know
As
this.
an
You
angle.
know this. But I'm seriously like, who like you don't tilt at that
You
angle.
do. Everyone tilts.
I got that angle, but it's
You're the freak here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me and obviously most of squad. I don't know.
It's I have yet to see it in game. That's the problem. Is we only see it in videos.
reading the screen. I'm just. It seems a bit like it's threatening a war.
Always.
The
And
reality
if
is
I'm,
the
if
Gladius-
I'm reading a book, I'm sitting here like this. This is how I read. I read
No, but-
my books on Kindle, and this is how I read them. I'm reading Feet of Clay, Discworld book. I think it's 20 right now.
You're probably just more proud of yourself.
book.
All right.
So you're
No,
looking out
okay,
for the
but
world.
here's my thing. Okay, my next thing is like why would you change the Gladius cockpit layout when you've got the Gladiator, and all they've done is increase the screens exactly the same positioning. This is about my inconsistency of CRG. The positioning of the screens. No one has complained ever in the last 9, 10 months, 12 months about the Gladius cockpit layout.
I didn't know they were reworking the Gladius either.
Yeah.
That was a secret thing
Yeah.
they just did. They
Why
went, and
would
it's been
you-
reworked.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like
Ooh.
it's like
You know,
I
the one
can
thing, the one
I was
thing I
like-
do agree about the Gladius is that you shouldn't see the gun flare in front of your face because you are trying to focus on a target. You shouldn't see this flary shit going on in your face because you can't focus. You can't target a target if you have bright lights in your face.
The one thing that I will agree with on the Gladius is it's called the Gladius. That's the only thing I think I can agree on.
Nice one, Aaron.
Thank
Said
you.
it right. Well done. Well done.
Of course I did. Of course I did.
all right.
I'm half.
Let's
I'm
let's
Anyway,
move on.
major-
I think a lot of the
Move on.
issues with the cockpit are we just haven't seen it yet. We've seen it in
I will
videos,
fly
but
it,
we haven't like, played it.
I'll fly it and I'll give you a review based on the previous one, and it'll be an honest review.
Next question
Not
comes from
mine.
CVH Mavericks, who asks, "Jiggle physics?" Yes, please.
No thanks.
Only
Jiggle
for my huge eatings.
Yes.
That's
Next-
going to be controlling.
Next question comes from Board Gamer is hotter than 3.0. If you cut engines off a ship in Atmo, will you fall to the ground? You know,
Yes.
but you'll spiral probably because one engine will be off, and so you'll. Right now, if
Oh,
you're
one
in a
or both?
Buccaneer, it says if you cut the engines off. I think he means cut the engines of a ship. So you turned off your engines.
You'd like you'd plummet.
Depends on
I'm
the
not
ship.
like literally just go out and
Unless-
cut your engines off.
It depends on the ship. If you've got something that has wings that fold out, if you got something that's aerodynamic, you might like glide a bit.
But you're falling.
otherwise,
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're falling.
Yeah.
No matter what, you're falling. You're just falling with style.
Mm-hmm.
Reference? Anyone?
Honestly, that's the best way. Like, I mean, I just know that. Have you ever seen White Men Can't Jump?
I only watch things
The
that
movie?
have got more than one season.
White Men Can't Jump. It's a movie. It's a long time ago. Wesley Snipes.
I haven't seen it. No,
You must have known, wasn't it?
I've heard of it. I've heard of the movie, but as a joke,
It's a great movie, and I think it sums up a lot of things in my life. But generally, there's I'd rather look good and lose than look bad than win. And that's the thing. And I sometimes think that there's two different types of players in the game. There's ones that would rather just win and look bad, and there are other ones that want to look good.
Say that when you're cashing out for your insurance every single time.
Lola asks, "Can someone please put on some pants on Eris?" No, none of us can control Eris. He's a wild stallion that roams.
Look at the man. Well,
Nearly killed his cat as well. Nearly killed the cat.
A confused dragon asks, "What the fuck is this rune system Eris is talking about?" It's an old tale of confusion. Of confusion and woe. Do not bring up the room system.
Yeah.
We don't talk
Don't
about
bring up the room system. Just don't.
Commander Hellfire asks, when using the bathroom, do we still take the whole outfit off, or is it the codpiece and zipper? Good day. I say good day.
Good day to you, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Depends on the size, really, doesn't it? To be honest, if you've used the longer or the smaller of the
God damn it. These names are killing me. If these end up being just board gamer shit posting,
you just type it away.
This name is Space Jihad times Meat Spin. Asks, have you used a Steam controller, Star Citizen? How was your experience? I know people who've done it, and they say it's.
I've used a controller when I first played the game.
Keyboard or HOTAS, don't.
No, it's okay.
Try controller.
There's a couple people out there who use a controller, but.
I will be using a Steam controller if possible for ground vehicles. I'll definitely be testing.
I think ground vehicles will be good for controllers because you've got the more control over you've got more fluidity over the movement. But yeah, definitely not FPS ship control. I think it's going to be a case of you're going to have controller for maybe ground vehicles, HOTAS for ships, and then mouse and keyboard for FPS. And I think
keyboard.
You know what? Screw you. I'm gonna get a full like the wheel, the racing wheel, plus like the shifter and all that kind of stuff, and then I'll space trucking across the.
All of that shit though, you need an Infini desk. You need a desk.
No, I'm about to say, hang on, board. I'm going to fix you here. I'm going to fix you, buddy. Okay, I watched Bristol Boy.
I'm good.
I watched Bristol Boy. He was doing a rally game with his dual joysticks.
He was.
Oh.
And he was fucking nailing it.
Really?
Nailing it. Watch it. If you haven't never seen it, check out one of his VOD videos. He was fucking nailing it, and he was telling me how much fun it was. He was like, you could see him doing, and he was manually changing the gears with his one joystick, and then turning and steering with the other joystick, and absolutely doing it.
Delves into
just like your streams. Just like your streams, LBM. Maybe it was pre-recorded when he was actually doing good. It was just...
Hang on. By hitting myself. Hang on a minute.
You know, the thing is, though, when it comes
unsubscribe to Board Game.
When it comes to this whole balance of like immersion and play, like I don't want to have to use the best peripherals just to be good at the game. I want to use what I enjoy, like. For racing games, I prefer
you can't use that for playing the game.
I want to use the ones that I got for free, and if I can't use the one that I got for free decently, then I've got a problem.
But if you're using something different, no, you can, of course you can. Of course you can do that. But it doesn't feel good. I prefer to use a steering wheel when I'm racing. I prefer to use a HOTAS when I'm flying. I prefer to use mouse and keyboard when I'm FPSing.
I am better at shooting shit in Star Citizen with mouse and keyboard. However, I refuse to fly with mouse and keyboard because I find it boring. I find flying with the HOTAS, even if I'm shit at it, even if I can't hit a damn thing, it just feels better.
Feels right. It feels as though it's associated to that.
It feels like I'm fucking flying, not like I'm playing an FPS in space.
Everyone can use what's the best, works the best, and they will perform the best using that method. But it doesn't feel like you should do. And Star Citizen isn't about performing the best. It's not about being the best at FPS. It's not about being the best at anything. It's about just doing what you want to do. And if you feel like you play
no, I don't want people doing what they want to do if they're on my team. If they're on my team, they need to be on the best stuff, trying to win. Okay,
All right.
everyone needs to be trying to win.
See,
But-
board is
but
that
how do you
he
win?
doesn't care how he looks. He's got to win. That's
How
the
do you
real-
win in
that's-
Star
that's-
Citizen?
I-
Do you
that
win
is-
when you get
that
a
is
new
literally how I
endeavor?
play.
Do you win
I,
when you get
everyone
adventures? You never
Why?
bloody win in Star Citizen. The entire
You
point of
win
Star
by
Citizen
hiring
is that
other
you can't
people.
win. It's that you have fun.
I
The
don't agree
name
with
of the
Aaron.
game,
Oh
kids,
my God.
is enjoying
Having
yourselves.
fun.
I am gonna mute you so
Having
hard
fun.
right now.
So Canadian.
That
It's
fucking.
so Canadian
Let's
right
have
now.
fun. Who the
It's
fuck
so-
has fun in
What's up,
games?
fun, guys?
It's all about competing, kids.
It's all about
Overwatch.
pissing in other guys'
It's about winning.
cereal, about
Winning
beating
this
them and
shit,
killing
kids.
them, and then making them eat your shit. That's
At
like
least I'm
teabagging them.
trying to be sarcastic with it.
Yeah, I
Come
know.
on.
Seriously, look, my dad, I would go to him and I would be like, yeah, here's my report. Yeah, I got 90%. He'd be like, the first thing he'd say to me, what happened to the other 10%?
And he says, I was having
That's
fun.
what my old man would say to me.
Have a good night, Hellfire
And
Man.
that's really,
Man,
Winning.
if I passed, I'd get $100.
that's what my old man, yeah. That's
All right,
different,
next
yeah.
next question comes from Gundam Citizen, who asks, "What is Eris's in-name game and what is his Twitch link?" Eris doesn't stream. He does
I don't
work with
stream. I stream
Relay.
at relay_SC.
which, if you hit
once-
exclamation point pod follow, you can see all of these
You can
guys'
see
links. Yeah.
I am planning on, once 3.0 drops, doing a once a week educational stream where I try to play and suck. So
It's
don't
gonna be like
watch
the
me.
Matrix. It's gonna be like your atrophy when you're playing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Don't watch me to watch me play. Watch me to ask questions, and I'll tell you about Star Citizen, but I won't be able to play the fucking game for shit. But I am going to start streaming it. But for now, we just do a once-a-week show on Saturdays, and occasionally a table once a month or so, whenever we fucking feel like it.
Next question comes from Altier, who asks, "Do you think the Aquila will get a price hike?" Yes, when it's fully
Yes.
released. Yeah, they all do.
So happy I bought it.
Next question comes from your neighbor, who asks, "Have you thought of starting a Captain's Tables book club and working with Audible for a sponsorship?" I have not quite sold out entirely to level. You know, I am not to the level of this episode of the Captain's Table is sponsored by Audible.com.
Have you guys
I was
read
doing this.
Discworld?
Yeah.
But he will if you're watching.
By the
money's
way,
right.
yeah, no, yeah, I was
money
going to
is
say,
right.
I will.
I would-
You need to be sponsored by
I'm
someone.
winning.
I
Yeah.
would totally do that. I'm reading through all of Discworld right now, and damn, that's good shit.
Like, listen, I
Yeah,
actually do use Audible. So Audible, if you're listening, I'm available for sponsorship.
I told you.
I know. I
Wait.
am reading through the Expanse series on Audible. I've got a bunch of the Expanse series on Audible.
Say
so-
Audible
That is
one
now
more time.
Audible. It's
Audible.
great.
Audible.
Audible is
That is now Audible
media.
and G
Listen to
Fuel that
everything
you've
you
tried
want.
to pimp today. You have
How
now
good is
pimped
Audible?
Audible and G Fuel.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I am not pimping G Fuel whatsoever.
I will take money for favors. Let's put it that way. Any type of favors, I will do money for favors.
Next question comes from the weird pony guy from before. I think I missed it. Will the Adventure get a rework? We already talked about that.
Yep.
Tom Reckoner, if multiple players will be collecting the same mission item, why wouldn't the last player to show up just destroy all the parked vehicles? Because he gets wanted?
No, I agree with this. I think
Oh.
they shouldn't be giving people and pirates the same job. I mean, I understand. No,
They won't.
hang on, I said that wrong. They said that they're gonna try and marry up people taking the same job. So when you accept a job, it's not going to be a case of you've taken that job, now that whole job's off the job board. They're going to have other people coming in at the same time.
Mhm.
And I didn't like that idea. I mean, I don't personally. I'm just coming from a Care Bear perspective. I don't want to have to fight for a normal mission of just going to investigate. And get to
These
black
aren't
box.
normal missions, though. What they're talking about is hero missions. Going to Miles Eckhart, the mission givers. You're going to be able to do normal missions on mission boards, no problem. It's the hero missions that you have to deal with.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was the regular missions that, like,
Yeah.
the missions that are created when a hull crashes on a ship, on a planet. So a hull is transporting goods, which is created by a mission, and then pirates attack the hull, which is created by a mission. That hull gets shot down by the pirates because it created a mission to have some like guards, but that mission didn't get picked up, so it didn't have guards, so it gets shot down. It crash lands on a planet. It crash landing on a planet creates a mission for any salvage person to go salvage it, and then any salvage person who wants to go salvage it can go salvage it. Same with any guard who wants to go guard it could take that mission. Now, if one guard takes that mission, then that's it. No other guards can take it.
Yeah.
But the idea is that there's all these missions that are created by the game manager that anyone can take the mission for. Yeah. It's hard for me to wrap my head around because it's Tony
it's too
Zurovec.
complicated.
It's Tony Bloody Zurovec.
TZ. TZ's
But-
the man, but for some reason I don't agree with what he's saying here. If that's the guy that's deciding it, I think it should be you accept the mission's taken off. I understand pirates can now come in and say, well, we don't want that guy to take that particular black box. I get that.
And I think that's how it's going to be. It's if, like, you might actually have to pay a small fee for the mission. Like, one of the things that they talked about originally was with exploration. You'd sell, oh, I found this wreck. I'm not equipped to salvage it, but I will sell the location of this wreck to whoever bids on it.
Mhm.
And then once someone bids on the location of that wreck, that is off the market because they have bought the location of the wreck. Now, you will go and buy it. It might also create a mission for pirates to go and attack you, but you have bought the mission to salvage that wreck, as I understand it. Of course, we haven't seen any of this. It's only been talked about in...
Yeah, it's all speculation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Town hall.
couldn't that just be different per job? I mean, there could be one where it could just be a job that's up and loads of people could be sent to a wreck that's on
Yep.
the planet. And then there could be another one where
definitely
you've got to go and pick up this cargo box. It would make no sense to ask 20 people to go and pick up this one cargo box if someone's already said, I'm going to go and pick up this cargo
Well,
box. for you."
if
So
a
it would-
Bengal crash lands, I mean, you could sell the location of a Bengal to 50 to 100 reclaimers, and they still find stuff to pick over, right? So it's going to be a matter of who you sell it to and how much for and all of that stuff. But that's all going to be determined by the game manager, and the game manager is one of the little bits of assumption that we haven't heard much about. It's one of the little bits of assumption that honestly we're still waiting to hear more about because we don't really know how it's going to work yet.
They don't know what they're going to do yet either.
Alrighty.
We don't know.
Well,
They don't know.
with that, that's actually the end of the questions. There's one other one, but it's just a troll question that I'm not going to answer.
Holy
because,
shit, really?
but yes, we're done finally. Thank God.
Finally, get
before-
rid of these fucking British.
Before Board Gamer passes out in his chair.
One big prick and then a few other small ones.
Be sure to follow all these people. They all do fantastic content. Even Madness, he does do fantastic content once in a while.
I try.
stream.
I try.
We do. If you guys are watching this, that's pre-recorded, then you can follow us on the Astropub. Twitch.tv/theastropub for live. It's at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. British Summer Time, and this will be uploaded right now, like at the end of this podcast. So, yeah, like I say every night, hope to see you guys again soon. But if I don't, hope to see you someday in the black. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe. Don't go anywhere, guys.